for this tournament. And if you please would go to altitudeisl.net so you can see exactly what's happened in this tournament, and from there you can link to altitudegame.net, I believe is the website, and you can play their great game and thank them for putting up money for this tournament, because it keeps things ticking along very, very nicely. So big thanks to them. Big thanks to you guys for watching us tonight as well.
Indeed, indeed. So with that, I'll play the commercial again, and you can switch out with Hacklebeast.
Okay, thank you very much,
for co-casting, Elegant.
I'll see you later.
Is actually really impressive from dOTY. So dOTY, definitely a dark horse in this tournament.
He's really drilling this desperate attempt to try and defend this, and he's actually cleaning up quite a lot of Zealots here, and this might just about be effective enough for Ace. If he does a little bit more joint drilling, this could actually be nice. He might be able to save this hatchery as well. The hatchery might go down. The Zealots are falling quickly though. He needs to get some reinforcements in there, and it looks like the hatchery will survive.
Just barely not going to pay off, and unfortunately it's not going to be a situation where he has another opportunity to attack it again. Well, just as I say that, a couple of Zealots coming in, they're trying to focus it down. 70 health, 39 health, 7 health, and just barely getting it down.
Okay, so the wall's not going to be tight anywhere. He put Forge on top. It's not tight on either between the gateway and the fort. dOTY goes up 2-0, and excluding walls looks absolutely amazing.
With that attack from dOTY, and now he can storm the bridge, and that will be hot for Karate to go through, because I just ran on the screen. So much blood.
Oh, so beautiful. Karate's just aiming the units across. Storm was a whiff, but now these High Templars are in a bad position. Oh, Templar Storm himself, but the Mules fly right into it and he loses 5 of them. Oh, I'm gonna say that was brilliant.
Boom.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a tight wall, by the way. 5 Zealots on the ramp.
Wow, sick micro there, almost getting the win. You could literally close your eyes and throw a dart at destination and hit one of the proxy locations.
Yeah,
but it would not be this one.
Probably better than this.
It's down to this one game, guys. It's down to a best of 1.
See, have a plan for this? Is there an overarching sort of idea behind this? Either way, there
is he cannon rushing?
Nice.
Is he cannon rushing? He's going in with a second probe. What? He's got to be cannon rushing, but it's not actually tight. You can't cannon rush because it's not tight. What the fuck?
What is happening? And we have an expansion happening from dOTY. I don't know what's a good idea anymore. Is that a good idea? They can't be.
He has to take a huge risk to come back in this game, so...
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Oh, the Zealot aggression coming in now from Semi. dOTY actually gets a decent enough starting position. He might be able to see this off. He is going to be overwhelmed in a second though in terms of numbers, but his micro is good to start off the proceedings right here. Just taking a look at his gateways now. He's pumping Zealots, so his defender's advantage is going to count. And he's going to have even Zealot numbers right here if he brings reinforcements up quickly enough. He has a probe in there as well, so he might just have the defender's edge. He gets a good position in as well, so Semi would do well to pull back and reposition right now because dOTY's Zealot micro is good. He manages to take down one of Semi's Zealots nice and early on. A pylon happening now too to try and confuse things a little bit. Fantastic job by dOTY. Wow, what incredible micros.
And here we go, he's going in. It's very difficult to micro well in these kinds of huge zone engagements, but here we go. Both players microing their heart out. Looks like dOTY is taking the advantage. Reinforcements coming in for Semi, and the Dragoons are out already.
Yeah, but dOTY, he still has an incredible Zealot advantage. He can still hold out against a decent number of Dragoons, and definitely the next is going to go down.
Two Zealots actually coming in from the top, getting a flank attack, and actually dOTY is going to hold without a single probe bolt here. Wow. And GG from Semi. dOTY makes it to the finals. dOTY has gone through to the finals in a ridiculous Game 7 here. What a series, ladies and gentlemen. dOTY has proven that he absolutely deserves that win.
I don't want to be a Protoss facing Sziky. I fear for all the Protoss players out there in this tournament. Oh, what? Oh. How? That makes no sense at all, but 3 links managed to run by.
Yeah.
That's Sziky. That is 8 probe kills by 2 Zerglings that with a run by. And both of them have more than half of them. That's disgusting. 3 probes down already. How many is he gonna get? There's no limit on this, really. Oh, full burgers? Nope. Gonna use them on the medics. Gonna use them on the Marines and
Ho! Alright. Coming back here, let me quickly get Hacklebeast on a call. Hacklebeast?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? Mr. Hacklebeast, my co-commentator for the Grand Finals. Are you pumped up, dude?
I am so pumped.
Alright, excellent. And everybody in the chat should be as well. Everybody please go and upvote the Reddit link thing. Go and I don't know, tweet about this. Do whatever you kids do nowadays to get more people to watch. Because it is going to be the Grand Finals, ladies and gentlemen, for a first place prize of $1,000. That's right, one best of 9 for $1,000. Second place doesn't do bad either, gets $500. But of course you don't want to be second place, you want to win, you want to be the champion of ISL3. So, I don't know if should we do another round of shoutouts to the sponsors and then we can get started? I want to do my Koreans battle cry before we start.
Alright. I think that there's never a bad time to give a round of shoutouts to the sponsors. Right. So I will do that, give you a chance to get all warmed up for the best Korean battle cry possible.
So for sponsors, we have Altitude, the game that is all over sales banners right now. AltitudeISL.net has all the information about the tournament so far, and a link to go and get the game. It's free to play. Also, thank you to sales viewers, Twitch TV, Quorum Jehalin, Ruskig, Fairyland, Trap, Prowler, Noise, and Nabopolis. Sayle, are you ready?
I am indeed ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going in to the grand finals. Sziky versus dOTY, a best of 9 for it all. 시작하겠습니다. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 on Heartbreak Ridge. I hope you are all as excited as I am. Hacklebeast, if you would like to call out the positions.
It would be my pleasure. On the left side, we have the blue Protoss coming from Germany, dOTY. And on the right side, we have the monster Zerg Sziky coming from Hungary. This is going to be a great series. Really excited for this. There's going to be some great micro from both sides.
And you know, funny thing, hold on, completely irrelevant, but I actually had the colors correct on my overlay before the game even started. So clearly, I've got some psychic premonitions of how this series is going to turn out. Actually, I have no idea, but I'm rooting for dOTY. Protoss fighting! Protoss fighting! Man, you know, I gotta say, I'm so happy there's been some Protoss here in the Final Four. We got a Protoss in the finals, a Protoss in the 3rd, 4th place match. Of course, in the ISL1, we had 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans, and in ISL2, we had 2 Zergs, a random, and just 1 Protoss, I believe. But yes, a nice little racial balance here. Anyway, it looks like nothing crazy from either player just yet. dOTY just building a pylon at his front, and we do see actually a 9 pool here, it looks like, from Sziky. That's an interesting choice of strategy. Sziky usually does pool first in his matchups, but a 9 pool indicates something kind of sneaky going on.
Yeah, I think a 9 pool is a great... Excuse me. I think a 9 pool is a great move from Sziky. As we saw in the hype video, dOTY not exactly known for his ability to make tight walls, and if you're going to be able to get a very quick victory, it's I think if you're in Sziky's position, it's going to be worth it to sacrifice the economy. The only thing I worry about, though, is that Sziky does go for 9 pools, but then only builds 1 set of Zerglings to follow up, to try to psych out his opponents, cause them to overreact, and still go for something economical. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he just plays the 9 pool straight up.
Indeed, as you said, you know, with those bad walls that were even mentioned in the hype video, it could be an easy win for Sziky. Of course, Sziky with legendary Ling micro, but on the other hand, dOTY is of course known for having insanely good Zealot micro, so it would be really interesting to see some kind of Zealot on Zergling micro battles here to see who is the true champion of the tier 1 unit. In the meantime, it looks like this probe guy is being super annoying, blocking this drone, which does have 300 minerals. He might actually kill it here, but no, the Lings are going to come out in time, and actually, is he going to get the moving shot? Not quite, so the probe will escape here. Now, dOTY does have to be aware of that backdoor entrance. It's currently covered by the fog of war, but there is the back door that's kind of blocked in by the stacked building and the mineral patch that can get mined out. So I hope that dOTY does check that with a probe at some point. It doesn't look like Sziky is actually going to go try and mine it out, or at least not yet, but it's something to be aware of. There is actually a relatively quick gas here, though, from Sziky, perhaps doing some kind of 2-hatch build even? He is sending out a drone, though, so it is probably going to make a hatchery at the top.
Yeah, it is looking like that. I think I would have liked to have seen Sziky go and mine out the minerals. dOTY doesn't have a scout there, and even if you don't manage to get it off, just opening up that possibility can really scare a Protoss opponent into putting too many cannons back there to constantly be worrying about it. And it's something that has no cost to it at this point in the game, but has a lot of upside if dOTY reacts improperly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does have a bit of cost if you're losing that drone's mining time, but no, I agree that it's very easy for the Protoss to overreact. I do have to say, though, dOTY has actually walled completely correctly, I think. I think maybe the pylon could be 1 hex higher, so you could put another cannon here, but otherwise, this is actually the correct wall. Now, you might think there's actually quite a big gap here, but that's kind of unavoidable. It's just like, just how the walls work on this map. There are some other walls you can do, but this wall, I think I'm completely happy with this, and I'm glad that dOTY's actually taken some time to figure out how to do this, because especially against someone like Sziky, who can just win if he gets 2 lings into your base, I think that is extremely important. Anyway, Sziky's been doing a great job denying this probe scout, by the way, with these Zerglings, even though they don't have speed yet. Just keeping that probe away. Meanwhile, Lair is on the way, and we do just have the standard 3rd hatchery here at the top right. Let's see what dOTY's doing. Now, I noticed in dOTY's PvZs, he seems to like going for early Zealot attacks, like +1 Zealots. He gets the 2nd gateway relatively quickly. And I did even see him follow up in one of his games against Ace with like a 2 Stargate build that almost looked like what Kid Canada would use. And I did hear that Kid Canada helped dOTY train for his ISL matches in the semifinals and presumably here in the finals. Of course, Kid Canada himself has pretty good PvZ. So it's interesting to see his influences.
Yeah, dOTY definitely plays this matchup a lot more aggressively than a lot of Protosses. It's all about doing a lot of damage before those higher tech units come out, and really keeping Zerg perpetually on a back foot so that they're never going to be able to get into that really comfortable mindset with a good amount of lurkers out on the field, get up to Hive relatively easy, and transition it to a late game, which is dangerous for most Zergs, but especially dangerous for a Zerg with Sziky's skill.
Indeed, but it looks like the first Zealot is just going to get taken down very easily here. An additional set of Zerglings even being built for Sziky, and his Zergling speed finishes. So wow, that attack did absolutely nothing there. But you know, 1 Zealot's not the biggest deal. He does still have 2 Zealots at home, so he can't block this. Wait, where's that Zealot going? Is he going to check the back? Well, I think he's going to check the back now, but I mean, if Sziky was mining out the back, it would have been gone already, so it's a little bit late to be doing that. Oh, no, it looks like Zealot's confused. Alright, he's just a little bit lost. There's a 3rd cannon going up at the front. It's kind of a good idea, except it's going to manner his gas. And oh, Sziky's thinking about running in, but then he sees the 2 Zealots there, decides better of it. But look at this, dOTY being very safe, even pulling the probes. Does not want Sziky speedlings in his base. He's even making a cannon in his main. Although actually, I think by now that's probably fine timing, just in case the Zerg's going for mutas. You do want a cannon in your main. So actually, for a second I thought that was a reaction to the lings, but actually I think that's not. And looks like, oh, one Corsair actually going to run right by this Overlord, but it's going to ignore it.
Definitely like to see that from dOTY. That was an overreaction in most situations. You already had 3 Zealots blocking the gap and cannons behind it, and he still pulled 5 probes. But he's not playing the race, he's playing the man. And again, Sziky, that's a completely reasonable thing to do. So great move from dOTY there. I really like it, even though in most situations it wouldn't be optimal. And we do in fact see Sziky going for Mutalisks. He does go for Mutalisk occasionally in this matchup. The cannon already down in the main, a lot of cannons down in the main already, 3. That's a very high number. And in the natural, there are a good number, but they don't quite cover the mineral line, especially with that back being so vulnerable. So I think that there is a good possibility to get some kills. Is he going to kill Corsair? No, not going to quite get the Corsair.
Man, that was some fancy dancing going on. And, oh, it looks like mutas are actually out for Sziky, but he does have the 5 hatches up as well, though, so it's a bit of like a delayed muta attack. And the Corsair actually does see the mutas en route, so what is he going to do to prepare against this? A bit of a messed up SimCity at Sziky's 3rd, by the way. And looks like, oh, he's going to grab one of these Corsairs. I do have some corrections from the chat, by the way. Oh, I'm so glad to have so many awesome Gosu StarCraft players in the chat. Apparently KC didn't actually help dOTY prepare for the finals. So, yeah, there's that. And also, apparently this cannon doesn't matter the gas. That's what Barkview says. I'm looking at this, and it looks like it actually kind of tiny bit does, but not so badly as I actually thought. But anyway, that's irrelevant because these mutas might do some serious damage. No, they're gonna poke in here. That is a lot of cannons, though. That is a butt ton of cannons. Oh my god, that is a horrendous number of cannons. Like, I love making cannons, and I'm actually horrified by how many cannons there are here. Wow.
I'm actually really surprised to see dOTY do this, because dOTY's all about getting out that fast attack. And by building this many cannon, that's so many minerals invested, that he's not going to have a reasonably sized army anytime soon. He is getting his tech up, but only now building gateways 2 and 3. I wonder what the transition is out of it for him, because I really doubt that he would want to play a straight up long game against Sziky.
Dude, let me just count these. All right, 4 cannons in the main. 1, 2, 3, 7 cannons in the natural. 11 cannons in total. All right, that is, how many minerals is that? That's 1,650 minerals. That is a ridiculous number of minerals, man. Like, I don't know what happened to dOTY. He just like saw Sziky win a game with mutas. He's like, oh my god, I don't want to die to mutas. Maybe Zyky's actually like playing a different game. Maybe Zyky's goal is to survive like past 10 minutes and then he doesn't actually care anymore or something. It's just like so funny. Anyway, or wait, dOTY did that. Did I say Sziky? I don't know. Anyway, Sziky is spreading out his lings though quite nicely. If you look on the minimap, he's getting really nice cover here, just checking everything out. I like that he didn't try to overcommit with his mutas. He poked in, he's like, wow, you just made a ton of cannons. Alright, I guess I just don't need to do any damage now. Because the damage is basically already done. Even if he didn't really kill anything, the fact that he forced that many cannons is like already a win for him. So I think Zyky's in a pretty good position right now. This macro up, going over to those Hydras. He actually got a Spore Colony at his natural on his third, just perhaps a little bit wary of those Corsairs. And it looks like +1 on ground is actually finished as well.
Being a 2-player map, this would be a map where dOTY's aggressive style would work out really well, because it's a lot harder to defend bases on a 2-player map rather than bases where you can put very nice sim cities at naturals. They tend to not work out so well at 3rd bases or 4th bases. But just given this way, it's really going to give Sziky all the breathing room he needs to get as many expansions as he wants to. dOTY's starting to make an army. He has an okay number of speed lots, a couple of High Templar in there, but really there's a good number of Hydralisks coming out, and they're still going to have to be more defensive and just defending against a Hydra bust rather than being able to put any aggression together themselves.
Sziky looks like he got a little bit supply blocked here, and he's got like a lot of larvae at all those hatcheries. A little bit uncharacteristic for him. Day 9 would be very sad about that, but you know what? It's alright, he's Sziky. I mean, Sziky has beaten the likes of Dr. K and Poussin, so what chance could poor little dOTY have here? Actually, we should probably have talked about that a little bit more. Of course, for anyone who didn't watch, of course, Sziky recently played that best of 5. Oh, actually, wait a minute. There's an engagement. Oh, Zealot, Templar, Corsair against Hydra Muta. Oh man, big storm on the Hydras, but Sziky trying to dodge out of it. Looks like the Mutas are all going to get taken down here. I don't know what happened to all the Scourge. There were a lot of Scourge there. I guess they all just died? Oh man, either way, the ground force mostly intact for dOTY. I don't think he should push too far though, because he did use a couple of his storms already. He's still got 1, 2 storms left, not that many. So I think it's a good idea to pull back, because if the numbers get too low, it's very easy for the Zerg player to just like micros the small groups of Hydras and snipe High Templar, but it looks like a couple of Dragoons being added now as well. And
yeah, Sziky was a bit of a mistake there. All of his Scourge targeted the front Corsairs. They were all wasted on just the one, and it allowed the Corsairs to tear through the rest of the Mutalisks. Now Sziky is in a little bit of a dangerous position. He doesn't quite have enough Hydralisks to defend, but it looks like he's going possibly for... No, coming up from behind with those Hydralisks. It looked like he was about to threaten the front now that the army's away, but no. Looks like it's just a sniper reinforcements. Still, this is a strong enough army to do some damage. Sziky has a very weak Sim City at his third, and not that many Hydralisks. Lurkers nowhere to be seen at the moment. And dOTY might be able to do some good damage here. He just won't be able to reinforce because Sziky has already put Hydralisks at dOTY's natural.
And, you know, even if this attack doesn't do that much damage, he's actually forced to cancel on Zyky's fort. Zyky's actually taken the 12 o'clock mineral only, decides to cancel that and save his money. But, oh, it looks like some Lurkers actually morphing at the front here, but some units are moving out. Can dOTY actually break this force before it gets in? But, oh my god, so many Lurkers going in the front, and that's a mostly Zealot composition here, but nice storms going down on the forces. Does he have any more storms? He's got one more storm on the High Templar, but no, it gets taken down. And Sziky, who looks like he might have been in a bit of trouble, is actually just forcing this army back now. Oh my goodness, just coming out with a massive wave of lurkers. And what does dOTY have in response? He's massing a lot of Dragoons. His Robo is up. He's getting out observers. Should probably just play defensively now. Think about taking a third base. And oh, looks like he barely wasn't able to finish off this lurker. And it kills a High Templar at the front. And Sziky now retaking this mineral only, so dOTY definitely needs to think about expanding of his own. But dOTY still has a decent supply lead, 130 supply against the 107 supply of Sziky. You know, he's definitely keeping Sziky on his toes here, but he's moving out with a force, and oh my god, everything was on move command for both players. That was weird. Wow, both armies just kind of running headlong into each other, headbutting each other. And then finally attacking. But no High Templar in this army, not many Dragoons either, it's just mostly Zealots. And Zealots, as we know, not so good against Lurkers. Meanwhile, Sziky looks like he's going up for Hive.
There we go. That one random lurker that sniped a High Templar managed to get a lot of shots off on Clump Zealots before the Observer came back. And Sziky slowly working his way forward. He does have a pretty scary army. As we saw, dOTY has an Observer out, so he can see the lurkers, but he doesn't exactly have a whole lot to deal with them. No High Templar and just Dragoons. He needs to... Oh, this is not going to be a good engagement for him. Has to pull back now. And losing a few more units along the way, and once again Sziky putting himself in a good position, bringing the lurkers even more forward just to really put the screws into the contain. And dOTY made absolutely no progress. He does have a shuttle though. It's an interesting position, considering that he really doesn't have many. Oh, okay, he's loading up a probe in the shuttle. I guess he's going for a little bit of a hidden expansion top left.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, there's already a Zergling there. Sziky with just great map awareness. Look, he's got Lings at the bottom right base as well, Lings at the third. I mean, one thing that dOTY might want to do is try to maybe mine out this back mineral only, but it's still going to be very difficult to get all his units out that way. I mean, getting contained here is pretty brutal on this map. I mean, it's not quite as bad as a map like Destination or something, but it's still pretty bad. And a funny thing you can do on this map is, like, just build a hatchery here and just do, like, a Sunken Lurker Spore contain, because there's actually plenty of room out here to be doing that. I don't know if Sziky will try anything silly like that. He did kill that probe at the top left, so no hidden expansion for dOTY. But dOTY has added a bunch of gateways here, so going to be slamming out units from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 gateways in total. That is a lot of gateways. That is not quite Combat X numbers. You do have to go to 12 gateways if you want to be as cool as Combat. But you know what? 11 is pretty darn good.
I want to point out Sziky's ridiculous map vision. There are just red dots everywhere on the map. There is no way that there's going to be hidden expansion. There is no way that a random storm drop is going to happen. Sziky knows everything. And now dOTY's trying to push out once again, but this is not going to work at all. All the Zealots getting blown up by the lurkers so easily because they're all forced to clump up. Now finally a Templar can get a storm off, but only 1 or 2 lurkers have fallen now. And dOTY has thrown away half of his army, got almost nothing for it in return, and that was not the kind of bust attempt he needed. He is mined out in his main, very close to being mined out at his natural, and he might have one more bust attempt in him before he just simply won't be able to remake an army again.
Wow, the storms at the front also not really doing too much damage. I mean, that is not how you break a lurker contain. You're supposed to lead with Dragoons and Templars and leave your Zealots behind until you've broken a lot of lurkers. But anyway, it looks like Sziky is moving in here. He's just going to finish the job. Not going to wait for dOTY to starve out. He's just going for the attack. 3 observers overhead watching the carnage, but all these Dragoons getting completely murdered by the Hydras. The +2 Hydras doing so much damage. The Colonel's also a +2, but either way, looks like, oh man, observers even getting sniped in the back. Sziky just flooding in units, and you know, dOTY's now down to 108 supply, and it looks like a GG from dOTY, and Sziky will take game number 1 in a pretty dominating fashion there. For a second, when dOTY's attack first went out, man, I was like, oh my god, is dOTY gonna win? And Sziky was like, nope, I've got 20 lurkers, it's fine. And he will take game number 1. And by the way, guys, would like to note once again that we have actually mixed up the replays from both players, so you don't get spoiled by who leaves the game first or any of that silly nonsense. It is all completely random.
I don't like what dOTY was trying to do there, because he played a very normal game against Sziky, and aside from that one window where it looked like he might have been able to do some damage, Sziky just absolutely owned that game. Everything was completely within Sziky's control, and I really think that the only way to beat Sziky as a Protoss player is to get him out of his comfort zone and force him to react to stuff that he doesn't typically see.
But what does Sziky not typically see though? I mean, he played against Poussin and he faced like carriers with D-Web. It's just like this guy can play against anything. It's so hard, so hard.
Do you remember Sziky versus Schnitzel from Gambit Cup Finals? Because that's what I think dOTY should do.
I don't remember what build Schnitzel did. What did Schnitzel do?
3 gateways off of 1 base. Just attack. And Sziky didn't scout it properly, or he didn't throw up enough sunken colonies, but he just died.
What? I don't remember that, but that sounds quite funny. Alright, anyway, let us go into game number 2 and see if dOTY can be as crazy as that. Looks like the map is gonna be Jade.
Alright. In the top right location, we have Sziky up 1-0 now, looking very strong game 1. And in the bottom left cross position, we have dOTY as the yellow Protoss. As Sayle said, the map is Jade.
Indeed, cross positions on this map, so could mean we see a nice long game once again. Or actually, I don't know if last game qualifies as long per se, but we shall see. Let's also see if dOTY can wall on this map as well. You know, so far he's 1 for 1 in terms of walls, which is pretty impressive already.
Indeed.
And in this position, it's actually very easy to wall. You just build a pylon, forge, and then a gateway on top, and it's just super duper easy. So, you know, if he's even seen it once, he should be able to do it.
Don't say that, man. This map, this position, was where he started it, because he put the pylon there and then forge on top.
Forella. Alright.
Forella.
We'll wait and see then. We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, while there's a bit of a lull, maybe we could talk a bit about like both these players' paths through the brackets. Of course, Sziky was an invite. He got invited into the round of 32 because he was the champion of the ISL2, and he basically made it all the way through the bracket, dropping only a single game to Bibian in the semifinals. But all the others were just sweeps for Sziky. So really dominating player. And dOTY, on the other hand, though, has also had a surprisingly good performance. He actually took out Ace, the former King of Silver, I guess, or maybe still King of Silver of the foreign scene. Of course, getting second place in both the ISL1 and ISL2. Got taken down quite early by dOTY. I think it was actually in the round of 32. Is that right, or is it round of 16?
He took it out round of 32. Round
of 32, yeah. So taking him down 3-0, which is very impressive. Let's see if he can do something against the fellow Hungarian Zerg in Sziky. In the meantime, he has gone for Forge first here. This is looking a little bit weird. I don't like this wall. Oh my god, he cancelled it! Wow. Alright, so he actually scouts the 12 hatch from Sziky and cancels his Forge to make a Nexus first. Okay, I think I overreacted there a little bit, because that actually does make sense. To do that, you can go for Nexus first, especially in cross positions if the Zerg's going for 12 hatch. So I do like this move from Sziky, from dOTY rather, playing the economic game. Hopefully he makes the Forge in a better location though. Alright, he makes the gateway there. If he makes the Forge underneath, I think he'll be good to go. Meanwhile, Sziky actually used this drone to scout bottom right. I think he scouted middle first, did he? I'm not really sure actually, I wasn't paying attention.
No, he is not yet. I think he scouted the center for proxies.
Okay.
And then went bottom right.
Nice.
Yeah, as you said, both of them have had rather impressive runs. Sziky was the last player. Oh, is that tight?
I
on the
don't
wall?
think so. I think that Forge needs to be 1 hex to the right. It needs to touch the gateway to be tight. Because now Lynx can run in through that gap.
If it was 1 hex to the right, it certainly would be tight. That way, though, I'm not quite sure. It might just be tight. You wouldn't think it was tight by having it like on the diagonal like that, but it actually is the tighter of the 2 directions on diagonals.
Is
the
it?
way Brood War buildings works.
I think like if Joe Kim wanted to make a bet with me on this one, I'd say it wasn't tight, but you know. Anyway, looks like Nexus is finished. I do want to note, by the way, that dOTY did a pretty not greedy but optimized build where he went Nexus, Gateway, Gas, and then Forge. So his tech is going to be super duper quick, which is quite nice, of course. Meanwhile, Sziky going up to Lair, he's got his close third here, which is interesting, deciding not to take further away natural. Of course, on this version of Jade, the gas value at the third bases are still regular 5k gases, but The new version of Jade in Pro League, of course, favors taking the far away bases as your thirds because the gas is reduced. Anyway, looks like Sziky actually is getting a bit supply blocked here. He's waiting for his Overlord. That's alright. That's alright. And
finishing up what I was saying before interrupted by whether or not the wall was tight, which it turns out it's not. In fact, not tight. What I was saying was Sziky was the player who was the last person to be undefeated before Bibian was finally able to take a game off of him. But on the other side, dOTY was the last person to be undefeated who was not an invite. Because he did go through the qualifier on his first run undefeated, got through the group stage undefeated, and then beat Ace 3-0.
Indeed.
So
indeed.
dOTY has also had quite the impressive one, and I think that given in the finals we have the invite who was undefeated the longest and the non-invite who was undefeated the longest, we have two very good players to meet here.
I would like to add another statistic, by the way. dOTY actually has another extremely impressive win in the ISL3, which is, of course, he did knock me out of the first qualifier. I hit him in the very first round of the first qualifier. So basically what that means is that if dOTY wins today, I should have actually gotten second place in the ISL3. It's just unfortunate that I managed to hit him first. So I'm just saying, guys, I'm just saying, if dOTY wins, I should have been second. Anyway, it looks like second gas already being taken for dOTY. He is getting +1. +1 is actually well on its way here. And he's getting Stargate and Citadel. He's actually getting +1 for air weapons as well, so he might be doing the good old Speedlock Corsair shenanigans. Sziky looks like he's just chilling at the front with a couple of lings. Somebody, wow, look at these lings. They're just freaking out, dude. Look at the front of the natural. Oh, they stopped. They stopped. All right. Oh, is he gonna run by? Is he gonna run by? No run by.
I definitely think you should lobby game to have a mini tournament between all the people dOTY beat if he in fact gets second place, and the winner of that tournament is the true second place player.
Yes,
so you
I
and
agree.
Semi and Reaper and Karate and Ace and Zeke.
I'll
you have to
beat
beat
all of
Zeke,
them, man.
but-
I'll beat all of them. I'll beat Zeke. Easy peasy, man. Easy peasy. Anyway, looks like some nice SimCity going on for Sziky. Wow, blocking off both his now ramp here at his third and his own natural. Good stuff. I don't know if it's necessary, like, of course SimCity is not bad, but if you're taking a close third, I don't think it's like as important as if he was, say, taking a farther away natural as his third. But, you know, it's not really going to hurt or anything. I mean, his ultralisks might get stuck when he makes them, I'm not actually sure, but that is a long way away. Meanwhile, we do have a Robo already up for dOTY. Is he going, wait, I don't know what he's going, because he's getting an Archives and he's got a Robo. He's like getting all kinds of tech, but no actual units. Is he doing like a Reaver DT drop or something? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it would almost look like Sayle Reaver, given the very fast +1 and now Reaver tech with the Robo in the front. But that Templar Archives is quite mysterious. I seem to remember a game I casted, and I don't even remember the context of it, so I hope I'm not talking about some seed-level game I casted. But I do remember a game where Protoss went for Reaver DT drops against Zerg.
Dude,
And it was
I think I
actually
know what
the
that
scariest thing
game.
I've
I think it was either Sziky or Ace. It was on Aztec, and it was a Korean guy from SL. It was SL Ace, not the Hungarian Ace. It was SL Ace. He actually loves doing this. He does Sayle Reaver, followed up immediately with a DT drop. He actually did this in several games. I don't remember what the event was, but I remember seeing a lot of his games, and he played like really high-level Zergs, and it's like really, really good. I'm pretty sure. I hope somebody knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure like Wondrin knows, because he like knows everything. But anyway, I'm pretty sure.
If it was that,
That's what it was. A was saying it was Ace versus Ace. Alright, that does sound right.
Ace versus Ace, which I happen to know off the top of my head, was the very first match of Gambit Cup 1 preliminaries.
Ah.
Oh, I've been doing so much work with statistics, I just happen to know that one. And Protoss Ace is really messing with me, because it completely messes up all my statistics, and I have to find a new moniker for Ace. Then there's that other Ace with the capital C in his name.
Oh yeah,
German Zerg.
The German guy.
He's messing me up. Chilean Dragon. Just so many people. He just really wants to prevent me.
Oh, Burrow on the drones. Hello, that is pretty sexy. Wow, that's not something you see every day. Unfortunately, he forgot to borrow the rest of the drones, so he's still going to lose like 5 more drones than he needed to. And this attack is actually doing some nice damage here. It's like a randomly timed attack. I don't know why Sziky actually just doesn't have much stuff. He had like a few random lings there, but he might actually lose his hatchery. Sziky, Oh, he's getting some hydras now. I wonder if dOTY should just focus down the hatchery. Yep, looks like he has just right-clicked it. He's going to get a couple of overlords as well. Meanwhile, what's he doing in his main base? He is actually getting a Reaver out. He's also adding on more gateways. This kind of jack-of-all-trades build is actually working. He's actually just killed the third hatchery. He's killed the third base of Sziky. Sziky, I would imagine, is in a lot of trouble right now. Sziky! Oh my goodness. This.
Remember.
Oh my god, and
when
there's
I said
actually
in
a
the beginning
Reaver
of the game?
and DT in the base. Looks like he actually got a huge Reaver shot in the natural. One DT in the main as well. I'm sorry I missed the shot, but it looks like it got off here. Oh my god, so much multitasking going on. And they're like the same color on the minimap too. This is ridiculous. dOTY's just got 5 kills on this DT in the main base. Sziky's in so much trouble right now. He's got no third. He's lost a bunch of drones. He's got idle drones as natural. Look at Sziky with idle drones. That is not something you see every day, ladies and gentlemen. Half his drones are borrowed. He's got 2 idle. He's losing his Spire here. Looks like he might barely save the Spire, but dOTY, with some sick multitasking and some just really wacky build, I would say, is actually making this work. I can't believe it.
When I said in the beginning, dOTY needed to do something that Sziky doesn't have a lot of practice against. This.
Oh my god,
This
he's got
is
2
something
shuttles.
that Sziky does not have a lot of practice
Oh my
against.
god, he's
Ooh.
got 2 shuttles. It looks like dOTY was watching the semi-game or something. Oh! Oh no! No, run! Run! Drop him! Drop him!
Speed
Oh
shuttles.
god.
We're fine.
Oh no, the other 3 shuttles in the spore colony! Oh, dOTY, don't die. You're doing so well, man. You're doing so well. Oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm too old for this. Alright, anyway, looks like he's just gonna pull back now. So unfortunately, the double shuttle play didn't do too much because Sziky just has amazing map awareness. But
That's
damn.
actually the second time that Scourge have gotten very close to some of dOTY's units and not quite reacted fast enough to kill it off. There was, of course, there in the beginning of the game that if the Scourge had acted a little bit faster, he probably would have been able to pick it off. So interesting to see dOTY just barely able to escape death twice now. Yeah, is dOTY...
He should drop these though, because like 2 Scourge could randomly come in and kill these shuttles. He should actually just unload. Oh, it looks like dOTY actually also walled himself in just to kill that cannon. That's alright.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it looks like he's moving again now. And here we go.
That was definitely a crossroads for dOTY. He had the option, he could either go for this kind of attack that he's going for now, or accept that he did a lot of damage, be in a great economic position, just expand and play normally behind it. And it looks like he is in fact going for an expansion, so he might not be terribly aggressive with this force. If he loses it because he gets a little bit too far out, especially if those shuttles get sniped, which is quite easy considering they have speed, so they'll get very far ahead of the army if he's not paying attention to it, then he'll be in a really bad position to defend the third. But if he can keep this army alive, he'll be absolutely safe. Ooh, random Zergling scouts it though. Great map awareness by Zyky's. Hydralisk going in, trying to snipe it. Ooh, they do manage to get a Reaver before it gets a shot off. And the Hydralisks are forced to go back, but great snipe by Sziky there. Picking off one of the Reavers. There's still 1 left in the shuttle. It's moving forward now, and dOTY, this is looking like a very strong attack from him. How much does Sziky have? He doesn't have a whole lot to defend against this. He is in a great position. He does have high ground advantage, making those Dragoons not do a whole lot of damage, but dOTY has so many units, it doesn't matter. Storm going down, doing some damage, but really it's the Reaver that's the most important thing, and Sziky, GG!
GG, it's 1-1. What? dOTY, I believe. dOTY's 1-1, guys. Screw all you haters. People are like, oh, it's gonna be a 5-0. Oh, dOTY can't win. No. Protoss power, baby. Protoss power. Woo!
Oh, man, I have a confession to make. I was totally one of those haters. I really thought this was going to be 5-0, and I'm so glad I'm wrong. Yes.
Dude. Wait, what race are you? What race do you play?
Protoss.
Get out! Get out of this cast, Hackle Beast. You're fired. You're fired, man. How could you be Protoss? How could you doubt your Protoss brother? Your brother from Ire.
Because it's Sziky.
Your
it's
brother
really
from
easy
another
to doubt
planet,
my Protoss
man.
brother.
You didn't think you'd win a game? You gotta have faith, dude. You gotta have faith. All right. Anyway, dude. All right. We're going into the game again, but first I'm gonna just play the hype video. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to start the game with good timing, but you were downloading it. Anyway, we are going into game number 3 on Aztec.
Yep. In the top left, we have Sziky as the orange Zerg. And, excuse me, in the top position, not top left. In the top position, we have Sziky, the orange Zerg. In the left position, we have dOTY as the white Protoss. And similar to Jade, dOTY got the same position where he couldn't make a wall versus Ace. Now he's getting the same position where we saw a wall that I will never forget.
That's alright though, it looks like he studied this game, you know, his wall on Heartbreak Ridge was good, his wall last game on Jade was almost good, so, you know, I mean, he can kinda do it, By the way, I saw someone in chat was already like, oh my god, this caster's so biased. I do apologize for that, but of course it's because dOTY is the huge underdog going into this. Everybody's all like, oh, Ziky's gonna win easy peasy, and you know, to be fair, I mean, Sziky taking 2 games off Pusan in a best of 7, taking a game off Dr. K in the Foreign All-Stars when they played against the Korean clans. I mean, like, this guy is ridiculously good, and ZVP especially is super awesome, so yeah, dOTY definitely has his work cut out for him. But anyway, Probe going in here, gonna scout the Sziky first. Ziky's actually gone for pool first, he has gone for an overpool here, so dOTY will not be able to do his little Nexus first shenanigans.
If you would like some numbers to put into perspective why people think Sziky was such a favorite, and still is a favorite going in, Sziky has played over 120 games versus Protoss. And in over 120 games versus Protoss, he has lost a series versus a Protoss opponent twice. Ever.
Was that like against Pusan? Was Pusan one of those?
No, Pusan was not one of those. I'm talking about foreigners.
Okay.
One was DeWalt and one was Funny.
Wait, Funny? What?
Funny.
2
DeWalt
random
and Funny.
Protosses? I was like, oh, is it gonna be like, I don't know, Schnitzel or someone? And it's like, nope. 2 random dudes. Okay, okay. To be fair, they're not random. Like DeWalt's definitely not random, but that's quite funny. Anyway, looks like dOTY doing a bit of the obnoxious hatchery block in here. And is this actually? Oh, looks like drone going to the bottom right. Could probably make a third at that bottom right natural. Although at this rate, it's probably going to end up being his first expansion here because dOTY is doing some really persistent pylon blocking of this natural. I think it's really cool. But it's also forcing him to get 2. Oh no, he got 2 cannons. He cancels one and is going for a Nexus instead. He saw only 2 Lings come out initially, so he was like, oh, I don't actually need 2 cannons. Man, dOTY doing some really nice adjustments with his build. I gotta say, this is really good. And you know, like, beginner players should definitely, like, look at what he's doing here, because a lot of players will just, like, blindly be like, oh, Wikipedia says I should make a forge and cannon, so I'll make a forge and cannons every time. But no, you gotta adjust to what your opponent's doing. This is, like, the clear example of that. And wow, gets the pylon down yet again. Jesus.
Yep. Very nice by dOTY to consistently block that. Using the Zerglings a little bit there. There are a couple opportunities where the probe wasn't exactly in the way, but because the Zerglings were following, he used that to his advantage and they would block. But now finally Sziky's going to be able to throw it down at over 450 minerals. Very much so delayed, and his economy did not take too much of a hit. As you said, he did cancel one of those cannons after seeing that Sziky doing his trademark Sziky thing of going for a fast pool but only building 2 Lings off of it.
And Hacklebeast, you were a hater, but look at that wall. Look at that beautiful wall. Perfect. Perfect. Some people might think there's a gap here on the bottom, but that skeleton thing actually blocks movement. So this is actually tight except above the gateway, which is fine. That's perfectly normal. Guys, dOTY has actually apparently practiced for this, you know, this match. I mean, you wouldn't think it, right? I mean, it's only for what, like $1,000? I mean, that's like nothing, you know. Why would you practice for $1,000? Wait, where are these runs going? Oh no, they're going down. Okay.
I am quite happy about that because I said in the thread that if Sziky lost more than 2 of these games to Ling run bys, I would cry, and I was not being overdramatic. I will, and I still will. I will literally cry if Sziky ends up winning 2 or more of these games with Ling run bys.
Now I kind of want dOTY to like go up, like you know, like 3-1 or something, and then just like throw 2 games just to see you cry. I kind of want guys, who wants Hacklebeast to cry live on stream? Raise your hand. Everybody, raise your hand. just hear him burst into tears, just sobbing like, why? Why is my life so terrible? Seriously. First world problems. You're crying because some guy doesn't make a wall properly. It's like the ultimate first world problem. I love it, I love it. I'm also just teasing you. I'm teasing you, Hackle.
I think there are people on my side. I really do not think I'd be the only one who would be crying.
Well, Pi is making a drinking game out of this, so he says he'll take a shot if you cry. So maybe if he gets drunk enough, he'll cry with you. So that would be exciting. Meanwhile, we do have +1 air weapons, by the way. So it looks like dOTY's going for some Corsair action, also getting a cannon in his main. dOTY seems to love these cannons, but you know, didn't really work out for him in the first game. So I hope he doesn't over-make cannons. As weird as that sounds for me to say it, given my propensity to be making cannons. Meanwhile, it looks like his first two Zealots didn't do that much damage. I think they killed 5 Zerglings between them or something like that. 5 or 6 Zerglings. I don't think they got any drone kills. But, you know, just kind of keeping Sziky on his toes, forcing him to constantly make Zerglings. Just forcing the Zerg to make lings instead of drones is already a good thing. But it looks like we do have Mutalisks on the way once again. And I would like to note, by the way, that this is actually the map where Sziky took down Dr. K in the Foreign All-Stars team versus, was it GSP? So, you know, this map has a special place in Sziky's heart, I'm sure. It certainly has a special place in my heart and the hearts of all the foreign fans who watch that series. And it looks like dOTY is just doing non-stop Zealot aggression here. Zealot actually walks in the base, kills 3 Zerglings, and now sees the Mutas. I think seeing those Mutalisks was a really important thing there, much more so than the kills. Now he's making another cannon in his natural. There's a bit of a cliff here, so it's going to be vulnerable, but he's also getting a Robo. It looks like we might see some more Sayle Reaver action from dOTY. This is so cool.
Yeah, definitely going to look like a more reasonable response than on the game on Heartbreak Ridge. But Sziky threatening here, getting aggressive with those first Mutalisks, doing a little bit of damage on those Zealots and threatening to move in with the Zerglings. But I think dOTY is pretty well secure here. No, nobody is ever secure versus Sziky run-bys. So, I take that back. I'm terribly sorry. That was a horrible mistake on my part. But
you are never
he looks as... well, yeah, I think with a good number of +1 Corsairs, you won't need to overcommit to the cannons. And here are the Mutalisks in. There are 3 cannons in the main, though. The main is not going to be very vulnerable at all. Maybe... no, there's no way. I don't think he can even snipe the Citadel.
This is so awesome. He's going +1 Corsairs, but he's still like, more cannons! Make more cannons! Okay, to be fair, in game number 1, he made 4 cannons in the main. This time he only made 3, so at least he's not as bad. But this is just so awesome to watch. Because you think, you know, you're going +1 Corsair, you don't need that many cannons, but no, he's gonna get some Scourge. It looks like he loses 2 Corsairs to the Scourge, but there's actually not that many Muta out for Sziky, though. It doesn't look like he's actually producing that many. His drone count actually doesn't look particularly high either, so maybe his economy's not good enough for it. He's adding on a couple more hatcheries now, getting his second gas, and that is going to be all well and dandy. I guess because he didn't have the second gas for a while there, so he couldn't really reproduce that many Mutas.
Well, dOTY, first Reaver on the way, shuttle speed on the way, and if he can keep a relatively high number of Corsairs, there's definitely going to be some possibility for some damage with that first Reaver. There's usually a lot you can do. dOTY, he actually loaded up 4 Zealots into the shuttle, which is a little bit interesting.
Oh man, the Mutas are right there though. He's going to fly right into them. I hope he doesn't bring a shuttle. Oh, he's going to leave with the Corsairs though. Very nice. Going to clear out the Mutas. And by the way, he has also gone for a relatively quick Templar Archive, so this looks very similar to the build he did last game. Hopefully I won't be a terrible observer and miss the Reaver shot when it does go in. But oh no, the shuttle doesn't have speed yet. He's got to be careful. The Scourge are coming in. Gets to the cannons in time. Gotta be so careful before the speed finishes. That shuttle's definitely vulnerable. And it looks like he's actually dropping the Zealots now and replacing them with a Reaver. So he's now got a Reaver and 2 Zealots. But as I said, he's kind of still tied to his base until the speed finishes. It is almost done though, so he might just go out now and, you know, wait for it to finish while he's moving out. Meanwhile, Sziky uncharacteristically not paying attention, losing all his Zerglings at the front. I think he's too busy just like getting Scourge around everywhere to stop this incoming drop. And it looks like the Corsairs are going to do a good job. He's got to keep the shuttle alive, and the shuttle does stay alive. The +1 Corsairs take down all the Scourge, but Sziky does see it coming though. He's going to pull all his drones immediately. He's getting a Spore Colony in the main base, but the Reaver has dropped. There's no drones for him to kill, and he's, oh no, no! Looks like this gets a Corsair there. The Reaver going to start doing some damage here, going to start taking down the Spore Colony. And you know, even though he hasn't got any drone kills, he is denying Sziky mining time. Sziky doesn't even have Hydra range yet. Looks like he does have Hydra speed though, because, you know, of course he did go for the early Mutalisks, invested his money in that, but dOTY's still going to be very, very careful. Even without range, Sziky could definitely do some tricky things with these Hydras. And looks like...
Yeah, they're... picking up the Reaver immediately with only 3 Hydralisks.
Oh!
The Reaver might be able to... Oh! Just barely getting that Reaver down, but the shuttle is lost. He still has an opportunity to do good damage, though, because 1 Zealot and 1 Reaver is actually enough to kill in the slow trickle of Hydralisks from Sziky. And there we go, another Hydralisk going down. They've already taken down all of the defensive structures. Now the Zealot's working on the lair very, very slowly.
Sziky's actually supply blocked down. He can't make any more units. He cannot make any more units. Looks like a couple of drones even going down. This 1 Zealot is like trying to be a hero and kill the lair, but that's just not going to work. And it looks like the Reaver finally gets taken down, but that Sziky has taken massive damage. This is unbelievable damage. 90 supply for dOTY against 60 supply now for Sziky. So I mean, it's still, you know, not over yet. But wait, does Sziky have idle drones behind his natural? Look at this, or not his natural, but as third base. You see these drones behind the mineral lines? Are they just like idle? Is that what's going on here? Look at that guy.
Yeah.
He's like sniffing the other drone's butt or something. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Some Discovery Channel stuff right there. Anyway. Looks like Corsairs continue to do damage here. And wait, looks like a DT drop in the main base. 2 Zealots and a Dark Templar. The shuttle is going to get taken down, but is there any Overlord? There's no Overlord in the main base. Does he have Overlord speed? Does he have Overlord speed? He does have Overlord speed. The DT's going to go in. Is he going to? What's he going to go after? Is he going to have to go after the Spire, the spawning pool? What's he going to do? All right, he's going to go after the spawning pool. Looks like first. Going to ignore the Spire for now. Realizes that the air units aren't really a threat anyway because of all his +1 Corsairs. He doesn't actually care if Sziky makes Mutas or Scourge. Or actually, I think he'd be happy if Sziky made Mutas or Scourge. But it looks like Corsairs going to deny the DT, or sorry, the Overlord once again. The spawning pool is going to get taken down. He could probably go after the lair now. No, he's going to go after the Spire again. dOTY's doing tremendous damage. It looks like Sziky going to go for a counterattack with the Hydras that he made at his third base. What do we have here? We do have a Reaver already here. A couple of probes actually going out. Sziky, or dOTY rather, thinking of taking a third base, but right now he just needs to defend, and he will be gold. And looks like the Dark Templar does kill all of the tech buildings in the main base. Even going to walk over to the natural, but no, there's an Overlord and a Spore Colony there. Just going to kill one more drone. The Corsairs continue to do massive damage here. Looks like dOTY realizes that the Hydra's now out the front. But look at this. Sziky has 66 supply. dOTY at 111. A 50 supply lead almost for dOTY.
Wow, it's amazing how much, how on tilt this constant aggression dOTY has been putting on Sziky, and how much it's really been messing with Sziky. Uncharacteristically, I think that what can't be overlooked is how little damage the Scourge have done, because Sziky has made a huge number of Scourge so far, but he's mismicroed them a lot, allowed the Corsairs to get a lot of hits on them that they wouldn't necessarily need to get, and it's allowed dOTY to keep a relatively high number of Corsairs despite being on only a single Stargate, and that's really hurting Sziky here. Now dOTY pushing out, he loses his Dark Templar, but killing off some of the Hydralisks is certainly not enough Hydralisks to deal with this. He loses the Reaver, and he is going to be able to kill most of the Hydralisks, but not worth it, losing the Dark Templar, the shuttle, and the Reaver for it. A mistake by dOTY getting a little bit overzealous there.
Dude, the main, Sziky's main, the drones are all idle. What the hell is going on here? How does Sziky have so many idle drones? I don't understand. Looks like Sziky finally fixes it. I don't know what just happened there. He must have missed the minerals or something, right-clicking just before the minerals. That is so weird. That is so unlike Sziky. I can't believe it. And dOTY is now moving out with a decent army. He's got to be careful, though. Hydra's running in from every direction. He did lose the shuttle and the Reaver earlier, so he's only got ground units, and Dragoons and Zealots are not particularly good against Hydras. Looks like dOTY getting a little bit overeager here, losing a few of these Dragoons for free. The rest of the army is just now coming up. The Zealots don't have speed yet. They are taking a little while here, but the Corsairs coming in once again, killing more Overlords here. There's got to be so many kills on these Corsairs. I'm trying to find a Corsair with like 1 billion kills. Looks like, unfortunately, I don't have one, but it doesn't matter. This ground force is moving in. Now, there are 2 sunken colonies here. Is it going to be enough? Looks like dOTY, rather, I can't even talk anymore, he's just going to chill for a little bit. He is getting his mineral only now. There's 1 link to defend it, but dOTY is in an amazingly good position right now. It looks like he's actually just going to retreat.
Yep, dOTY has thrown down his third. There was a Zergling that popped out and killed the probe, but not quick enough to actually stop the Nexus from going down. It actually saw the Nexus before moving out, so that's going to go up. It's going to go very easily. dOTY more than double the supply of Sziky at this point, or no, he's just fallen a little bit under double the supply, but he was more than double the supply for quite a while there. And dOTY, he can follow this up in any way, but there is... Zyky's looking very weak right now, and Zyky actually moving out with a lot of Hydralisks. A couple Lurkers also following up. It looks like just 3 Lurkers, though. Does Zyky have obs? I haven't seen any from him yet. Yes, there's an observatory, so I have to assume obs are somewhere around. I don't know if I like this attack from Zyky, though. He does not have a lot of units, and one good storm could completely crush his army. There is a High Templar, at least one.
But it looks like the Protoss army is a bit out of position, though. Oh, I thought Zyky was going to go up the narrow ramp, because the Protoss army is defending the wide ramp. But actually, it looks like there might be a big engagement here. Hydra Lurk versus the big Protoss army. How good are the storms going to be? There's no observer with the army yet. There was an observer for the natural. The observer finally coming in a little bit late to the party, but it's just in time, I think, actually. And looks like dOTY going to pull back a little bit, pull out of Lurker range. Very nice move. Does not want to take too much splash damage from the Lurkers. He's got to get a good storm off. Storm! Come on, storm it. You got to storm, bro. Oh, no. He wastes the High Templar. The Templar with energy does not get its storm off for whatever reason. But dOTY is still holding this position. He's still at 152 supply against the 85 supply of Zyky, who's just finally getting up his 4th base, whereas dOTY's mineral only is already mining away happily here. He's got cannons defending, and looks like a speed shuttle. A storm drop is going to go into the main base here. Is it going to get intercepted? The Hydras are doing damage. Zyky does not notice. Storm! Oh! Gets the main mineral line. Looks like there weren't even that many drones there anyway, but the shuttle is barely alive here. That Templar actually didn't have enough energy. It needs 5 more energy or something. He could actually just drop it on this little ledge here. Oh, but the shuttle gets taken down.
Yep. In the meantime, Zyky pulling back. He really can't afford to engage dOTY's army, but dOTY's army surprisingly Dragoon heavy. He doesn't have a whole lot to protect those Dragoons, so dOTY needs to be very careful to not get into unfavorable engagements. Otherwise, Zerglings or Hydralisks could really tear through his large army very quickly. That's just so many Dragoons. He finally did get speed for the Zealots, though. Finally did get +1. That's going to certainly help out a lot.
Yeah,
man, dOTY...
giant army. Look at this army, man. It's only got 1 High Templar, though. What the hell? What? Dude, dOTY, make some High Templar. I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, if you've got that many units, but if he goes up the narrow ramp, though, oh, dude, that's going to be painful. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go around, man. Just go around. Just take the long way. Just take your time, man. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush. You know, you gotta be gentle. Do the foreplay. You know, get in the mood. And actually, he's just gonna retreat. All right, never mind.
dOTY now mined out in his main, and mined out at his natural. So he will have 2 mining bases once this 4th Nexus finally finishes, but for the meantime, only mining off of a single base. Poking him with the Corsairs a little bit, just to see what's up. I think he was looking to see if there's an opportunity to drop it. Indeed there is. There's only 2 Hydralisks. He can drop the Zealots in there. Looks like the Hydralisks were wanting to get the shuttle snipe, but no, they're not going to quite be able to get the shuttle, and now there are 4 speed Zealots, and quite possibly more. No, not going to bring any more, just those 4. Wondering how much damage he's going to be able to do with these. We can see Zyky now has his hive up.
And this is such a great distraction. Look at this, Zyky pulling up so many units. He's completely overreacting. Zyky is pulling back like 3 control groups of units just to deal with 4 Zealots. Meanwhile, the main Protoss force is going around into the natural. He needs to keep most of his units here. Oh man, this Zealot drop just being a great distraction. And now dOTY is moving in here. He still doesn't have any High Templar, but he's got so many Dragoons. He's got 3 observers. I think he's actually got his observers hotkeyed with the Corsairs, so they're like moving funny. But anyway, he's going in here, keeping the Zealots back. Nice control this time from dOTY, not taking too much damage on the Zealots from the Lurkers. All the Lurkers do go down. There's only Hydralisks left and 1 sunken colony. I think Zyky might actually lose here. dOTY is about to take an advantage against Zyky in a best of series. Oh, huge storm on the Hydralisks. Monster storms on all the Hydra. Zyky's are down to 75 supply. dOTY's up at 162. The Lurkers coming in, but there's no support for them. They're just walking into a gauntlet of Dragoon fire here. Zyky's going to lose all of his Lurkers. Zyky is going to lose game number 2 here. There is no question about it. dOTY's already got his 4th base up. GG! dOTY is up 2-1 against Zyky, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think a single person alive made this prediction. Not even the most hardcore of dOTY fanboys predicted that this would be the case. After Game 3, dOTY is leading 2-1 against Zyky. Oh my god.
Speechless. Absolutely speechless. dOTY has made 1 mistake in Game 1. He made too many cannons. Since then, nearly flawless play this entire time.
Dude, this is
And
such
he's-
a cool build. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, no, I completely agree. He's like doing Sayle, Reaver, DT all at once. It's ridiculous. Like, how do you afford that? Sorry.
Oh, man.
Keep going.
Yeah, it definitely is a cool build because he is taking the absolute staple of PvZ +1 speed lots and completely ignoring them. +1 speed lots do not exist in dOTY's army, and he's getting speed lots like after observers or something ridiculously late like that.
Yeah, dude. Who needs
It's
units
so
when
cool.
you can just make like a Reaver and Corsairs and a DT and just win? Dude, he's literally got like one of every production facility. He's got like one gateway, one robo, one Stargate. And it's like, yeah, that's enough. I'm fine. Oh man, so sick, so sick, so sick. But of course, it is a best of 9, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's a pretty epic series. So there's still plenty of room for Sziky. Plenty of opportunities for Sziky to come back. I mean, you know, dOTY still has to win 3 more games off Sziky. That is no easy feat.
Oh man, one of every production facility reminds me of my very first RTS playing back when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, dude. No.
And then not only do you have one of each production facility, but you have one worker on each resource. Because anything more than that would just be excessive.
Yeah.
You already have one guy getting
I know,
wood.
it's
You
not
don't need
efficient,
any
man.
more than that.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought the same thing. I was like, why would you get more than one barracks? Because if you get more than one barracks and you mine out the map, you could have not made that barracks and saved yourself 150 minerals. But because you made that barracks, you're now shorter 150 minerals when the map is mined out. Boom. Clearly, the most efficient thing is to only make one of every building.
Exactly. And if you have more than 3 workers, one for each resource and one for building, that's less supply that can go into your 200 army.
Exactly.
I need 197 supply of soldiers. Otherwise, what the hell's the point?
Exactly. Look, we go to the late game, you have like 50 SCVs and I have 3. I'm gonna beat you every single time, man.
Every time.
Alright, so are you ready to go on to game number 4?
I am so ready.
Alright,
Cannot
here we
express
go.
how ready I am.
On Bloody Ridge. Game number 4, dOTY leading 2-1.
In the bottom left, we have Sziky down in a series versus a Protoss. What was once thought... No. Whoa, I'm having problems with TeamLiquid.net. Alright.
What?
What was once thought impossible is happening. Top right, we have dOTY.
Oh, it looks like Sziky got
I don't know
confused
why-
about the time. Why is that TL's fault? I don't even understand. Oh, Sziky got confused because he thought he was playing at 21 CET, but it's actually the cast starts at 21 CET. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder if that means like he wasn't warmed up or something. Oh, that's not good. Meanwhile, where's this probe going? Why is there no pylon anywhere? What's going on here, Hacklebeast? What is going on?
dOTY needs to continue the conversation. He needs to distract Sziky more.
Seriously,
He's gonna
dOTY,
do
ask him where
something.
he's from. Ask him where he's from. Is he trying to proxy? You can't proxy here.
He already built a pylon. So... I don't
He's
know,
still
he is talking
though.
it up.
He's still talking. Is he gonna... Oh. Is he gonna like build gateways in his main? Like sneak him in? Sneak this probe in? I think he was trying to dodge this overlord. That's why he went around the long way, as you can see on the minimap. Oh, he's gonna get spotted by the second overlord though. Oh. He gets spotted by the second overlord. That actually makes me really sad, because I think he was gonna try and build gateways in Zyky's main.
Yeah. If Sziky hadn't gone for an overpool, then that overlord wouldn't have been there at that time. He would have been able to sneak it in. Unfortunate for him.
Well,
So...
I mean, that overlord would have been there for everything except a 9 pool. So like, I don't really see.
Yeah.
I think dOTY's timing was a little bit off there, because the only way that would have worked if it was a 9 pool. I mean, having said that though, because we saw Sziky 9 pool on Heartbreak Ridge, you know, Bloody Ridge is also a 2-player map. Perhaps it was somewhat likely that he would 9 pool again, but I'm pretty sure dOTY just messed that up.
Yeah, now dOTY is going to be forced to play one base against Sziky. He messed up with his probe a little bit, allowed Sziky to get down the expansion.
Yeah, but he's doing a nice little block here at his natural, or rather at his main. I don't know if that's link type between the gateway and the left side. It looks tight, but I'm not sure. If that is tight, that's really nice. Then he can just block the bottom with one zealot.
Yeah, but if dOTY's going to block it with one, maybe two zealots if it's not tight, then that means he's going to not be expanding anytime soon. So I wonder how he's going to follow this up. He's getting a quick cyber course with some kind of one gate tech, but I don't know. Overlord coming in for Sziky. He'll very quickly realize what's going on. I don't think.
Oh my god, it's a probe rush. Oh my god, it's a probe rush! He's pulling 4 probes! He's pulling 4 probes! Okay, so it's not like a hardcore probe rush, but he's just gonna rally zealots from one gateway and use the 4 probes to support, and that is more effective than you might think, because the probes not only add damage to the zealots, but they also prevent the zerglings from getting a good surface area on the zealots. So it's just like super annoying for Sziky to deal with. And Zyky's second hatchery is only just finished, so it's not like he even has a really good larva count. He's actually having to pull drones to help out with this. But look at dOTY, just pure man style. It's like, what? Gas units? Why would I make those when I can just make mineral units like zealots and probes and win? Oh man, what a boss here. dOTY, look at this bossing it up. Sziky, you make drone, I kill you.
Finally, in Game 4, we might finally see Sziky Lings versus dOTY Zealots. And it looks like Sziky's going to get a really nice engagement here, getting us around on a lot of those units. Picking off one of the Zealots. I think he killed 1, maybe 2 of the probes as well, and gets another probe at that. So dOTY's going to be forced back. Great move by Sziky there. Just absolutely taking that engagement.
The thing is, Sziky does not have many drones mining right now. He's still mining gas. I think maybe he should pull guys off or something. Maybe he's going just for a lair. I'm not really sure. He is getting speed already. Now, he did get that 3rd base up, though, at the left side. So since dOTY didn't punish this, it's basically Zyky's 3 base against his 1. You know, usually you shouldn't go for, like, a fast 3rd against a Protoss who's 1 basing. But on this map, the 3rd base is actually relatively close, and Szyky did hold that off. So I think he's okay. Okay, now we see if it's tight. It looks like it is, except that dOTY let him in. What the hell? dOTY's just like, here, let me open the door for you so you can come in and kill me. But no, it looks like he does have enough zealots and probes now, so that's fine. Oh, it's actually not tight on the side. Okay. Man, this is just really confusing. But Zyky's just going to throw away his Zerglings here. What on earth? Zyky not paying attention there for a second, but uh-oh. 3 Zyky Lings in the main. Is this going to be GG? Is Hacklebeast going to cry? Is Hacklebeast going to cry?
No, I said at least 2. Because one's a given. Anytime you play Sziky this many games, it's going to happen. It's like, there's no wall in the world that can prevent Sziky 9 times. Just one you knew was going to happen.
It's true, it's true.
Oh, man. And there are a lot of Lings now. There is at least a control group of Lings.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm not too concerned because dOTY's original plan in this game was to proxy gateways in Zyky's main, but then he got his probe spotted, so it's just like... He was inevitably going to lose, I think, because he lost all that early mining time, and then he was also stuck on 1 base.
Pretty much.
So he's not going to leave though, because he's awesome. He's going to win the game with a Corsair. He can't even attack ground, but he's going to win. GG.
All right. And just like that, Sziky ties it up, I guess. That was a game.
2-2. Oh my god. Oh man, this is so good. This is so good. We're going into game 5, and it's not like 4-0 right now. Because this right now, could just think about it, right? Right now, the score could be 4-0 for Sziky, and I don't think anyone would be too surprised. Like, no offense to dOTY, but I don't think anyone would have been too surprised by that. And then that would have been so sad. That would have been like, oh, that's boring. But no, dOTY is a boss. He's playing the Mantos style, and so he's kept it 2-2. And he didn't even do it by like cheesing or anything. The one game he tried to cheese, which was last game, he actually lost. Those 2 games he won, those were straight up, man. Those were sick builds. Sick builds. Anyway.
Yeah. I wonder why dOTY decided not to go for the that build that was working out so well for him game 1 and 4. I wonder if it just doesn't work on 2-player maps. He feels it doesn't work on 2-player maps.
Yeah, it's probably a map-related thing, although I'm not really sure. Or he could have. Maybe I think he was just trying to mix it up a little as well. I mean, you know, the 2-player map does afford you the ability to cheese better. Yeah. Well, let us go on to game number 5 on Sniper Ridge. Once again, this is the grand finals of Altitude's International Star League 3. The winner of this best of 9 gets $1,000. It's pretty sick.
All right, top right is top right is Sziky, who has now tied it up 2-2, playing as the yellow Zerg, and bottom right is dOTY, who is the white Protoss. And as you said, the map is Sniper's Ridge, a map that has not been kind to Foreigner Protoss versus Zerg in the games that we have seen. But really, the 4 games we've seen haven't really gotten to the stage where Sniper Ridge starts to become really bad. Because this map becomes really bad for Protoss when Zerg gets a good number of lurkers out, and that contain just seems impossible to break through. But really, in all 4 games, Sziky hasn't really gotten to that point. Game 1 was the only one he had a reasonable number of lurkers out, and the game was kind of over by that point anyway. He just needed to not die in dOTY's 1 bust attempt. So maybe this map won't be so bad for dOTY.
We shall see. I remember I suffered a horrible loss at the hands of Zaraki on this map. Oh man, it was horrible. Zaraki's like, "Hey Sayle, you want to play a friendly game?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, dude." And I actually spawned at the same place that dOTY spawned, and then Zaraki's like hardcore, he just like rushes to lurkers, just contains me brutally, and just like rapes me on stream. It was like, "Zaraki, why? I thought we were friends." Oh, it's terrible. Anyway, there's like an 11 pool here for Sziky. Interesting choice. I thought he was going to hatchery first, but no. And let's see what dOTY actually does. Is he going to forge first? Yeah, it looks like dOTY decides, well, I'm not sure if I can actually Nexus first against this. Let me just forge first.
Yeah. And with Forge on the left side, if he puts the gateway to the far right, I'm pretty sure that's tied on both sides, with 1 gap in the middle. Hopefully he will do that, as opposed to the time that he put the gateway next to the Forge.
Probon drone action. Is he going to build the assimilator? Yes! I love it! I love that assimilator move. Ah, cock blocking drones left and right like a wizard. Sorry. Man. I think I get a little bit too worked up over these things. Got weird fetishes for like good gateway placement and blocking drones. It's probably like abused by a drone as a child or something.
Oh man. So Sziky's already thrown down his 3rd base at the top left natural, and dOTY has rebuilt the manor pylon once again.
Oh man, this is so brutal. This has got to be so frustrating. Just like you know, obviously this is, you know, doing tangible damage by delaying the hatchery. I mean, Sziky just going up to over 300 minerals before being able to place the hatchery. But I think more importantly, it's like the psychological effect. Like, how angry must he be right now to have that constantly just that little probe just like, ugh. I mean, I know when I off race a Zerg and I play a Protoss and he does that, I just like want to just snap that little Protoss neck. Just like, ah, friggin' Protoss. Anyway, dOTY's wall rather looks not too bad, not too bad. He didn't put the gateway on the right, but you know, it could be worse. Let's put it that way.
It could be worse, but not tight on the right side, not tight between the forge and the gateway.
In the meantime, little probe guy is trying to go out for another scout. Sziky's finally gotten his hatcheries down. He's going up to lair. And looks like Simon X Core is on the way.
Yeah. And Sziky once again, I think as you said, is going for 3-hatch lair. I don't think Sziky's deviated once. On the Jade game, I don't know if he quite got to Mutalisks before he needed to start reacting to dOTY. But other than that, every game has been the same. 3-hatch lair, and then Mutalisks, and then add on 2 more hatcheries.
Indeed, Lair is almost finished. Is Sziky going for the Muta once again? We shall have to see here. And it's interesting because, you know, usually the tell for a Zerg going Mutas is that he gets a very quick second gas, like before any extra hatcheries besides the initial 3. But in Ziky's case, he seems to be doing it off of one gas, just getting like a delayed Muta and like adding on his hatcheries, but just getting them anyway. It's just kind of interesting. So it's a little bit hard to read his build, at least from my point of view. Maybe I'm just like terrible. Anyway, looks like Stargate is on the way now for Mr. dOTY. Pro gonna see this third base. Looks like Sziky. Oh no, sorry, those are drones. I thought he made a few more links there. But anyway, looks like Spire is on the way now. And nothing out of the ordinary for dOTY. dOTY playing very safe in all these games with these cannons. You know, placing those 2 cannons initially. A lot of times, like you'll see pro gamers like try and get away with 1 cannon as long as possible. But dOTY knows. He's like, Zekylings, man, Zekylings. You don't want to be taking any shortcuts against those.
I don't know if there's been a game yet where he hasn't thrown down 3 cannons at the front. He does cancel the 3rd cannon this time around, though. I'm trying to look for the scout. I'm not sure what he saw that would indicate that he would be allowed to cancel, because it doesn't seem like he has any units outside of his base.
Yeah, it's interesting. Meanwhile, Ziky's got a very fast 4th here. Look at this. Look at this. Instead of SimCitying at his 3rd base here by placing the hatchery here, he's actually just made it at the expansion. This is really risky. Now the thing is that those bases are cross-mapped from the Protoss, so even if dOTY does do a relatively early attack, it's more likely that he'll attack Ziky's natural rather than attack the top left. So I think this is possibly a calculated risk that is partly based on the spawn locations. And that is really interesting, huh? Meanwhile, dOTY is once again doing his +1 air stuff, also getting +1 ground. This could be that same build. Come on, man, Robo DT, let's do it! Let's do it! In these positions, by the way, since the natural of Sziky kind of faces dOTY's main, I think that does lend itself to easier harass as well.
Yeah. Taking that early 4th does have to do with the map. I think it also has to do with what dOTY has been doing. Because dOTY's been going for such strong pushes that dOTY didn't need to try to attack a weaker 3rd. He could continuously go for the throat anytime he wanted to push on one of Ziky's bases. And we saw it on Aztec, where the 2 were equidistant. He didn't go anywhere close to the 3rd all game long. So Sziky might have identified that and just thought, well, if he's not going to attack my 3rd, I don't need to put terribly big defenses there. And I might be able to get away with a fast expansion.
Indeed, indeed. I like it, man. I like it. And it's interesting because I don't know, like I wonder, is this like just an adjustment to what dOTY's build is doing? Actually, did you cast the series between dOTY and Karate?
Yes.
Because I remember, all that thoughts, of course, there's on Scourge. Because I remember, I think like KC was saying or something that that by the end of that series, like Karate had started to figure out dOTY's build or something, like just started to slowly adapt his own play. Unfortunately, couldn't quite close it out. That was a very close series. But I wonder if Ziky's going to do the same thing. It's like, same trick won't work twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and I don't know how to play StarCraft. Actually, it already fooled Sziky twice, so that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we really can't comment on Ziky's flexibility, because he really isn't put into a position where he is down in a long series and needs to figure out his opponent's weird build. So, for all we know, he could actually be just like Savior, and he saw the Bisu build, and it's like, well, I'm gonna do the same thing 3 times in a row.
Oh my god, that's true! Guys, dOTY is the new revolutionist, except he's not winning, like, 3-0, but you know what? It's fine. It's a sick build, and it makes me really happy in my pants. Yeah! That's a lot of Scourge, by the way. Oh, the force is moving out. The force is moving out. The spore colony is high. Just gonna run straight into the Scourge. Oh no! Scourging! Getting only 1 Corsair, I believe. That was a lot of Scourge for 1 Corsairs. Meanwhile, the +1 Zealots are moving out on the map. These Lings are going to do almost nothing against them. There's 2 Sun Colonies there, a 3rd one on the way. It's a good SimCity, but that's a lot of +1 Zealots. The drones are going to come off the line here to help out. Looks like Sziky, or dOTY rather, just going to turn around, snipe some of these Lings first, and just immediately pull back here. So not going to overcommit to this. I like how he's being super active on the map though, just making sure that Sziky has absolutely no opportunity to do a lurker contain or anything like that. Meanwhile, he's going up to 7 gateways in total, including the one at his natural, getting the robo there at the natural. But I think that's just going to be for obs now. It's a little bit too late to do any kind of weird reaver shenanigans.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is he aware of this top left main expansion?
No, he's not. He's not aware that the main has been taken. He hasn't had his Corsairs fly over there, and he obviously didn't get through with the Zealots. So, unless he could somehow judge it based off of not a huge number of units out for Sziky at this point in the game, I think that if it was only on 3 bases, he'd have more Hydralisks. But it's a very subtle difference for dOTY to notice, and I think he's just in the dark.
The one nice thing for him is though that he's keeping Sziky's supply block constantly. Like his Corsairs are doing a really nice job, as they have been in all the previous games. Meanwhile though, some Zerglings running in, kind of blocking his 3rd base, but it is going down now for dOTY, but it's much later than Zyky's 4th, so I'm still quite concerned that dOTY hasn't really done significant damage at this point, but it looks like he's moving in. Sayle, Zealot, DT. Now, one possibility, oh man, the Lurkers are actually not even finished yet. The Lurkers are only just started. He can start taking out all these Hydras. He might even just run the DTs past into the main base, use the Corsairs to kill all the Overlords. He's doing so much damage here. The Lurkers are just not finished in time. Sziky needs the Lurkers to finish. He's just praying. He's like, please finish. Please, for the love of God, finish morphing. Oh my God, he just wants to have a C-section or something. Just rip the Lurkers out of their eggs. Emergency surgical procedure. Come on, get him out, get him out. Ah, only one of them gets out, but it looks like it's going to be enough. It's going to be enough. Oh, man.
dOTY stormed both of his own High Templar. And yeah, only one Lurker managed to survive. Sziky was a little bit late on the burrow, but one was enough, and it got 7 kills, a whole lot of damage done. And dOTY did not get the return he really wanted to after that attack. He had a very good opportunity, and now moving out again, but with a very Dragoon-heavy army, it could easily be sniped. No, Sziky, he didn't see the 1 High Templar. He probably assumed that there was a little bit more there, just backing off, because he didn't have many Hydralisks himself.
I don't like how this cannon is mattering his gas. That is 3rd, dOTY's is. I assume that's mattering the gas. I'm not sure anymore, ever since that game 1 on a Heartbreak Ridge, where I was actually wrong. And Baku corrected me. Oh, that's so embarrassing. When a Zerg knows what's blocking and you don't. Ah, silly Zergs. I'm just kidding. I love Blocker you. But anyway, what's going on here? Looks like Hive is done. Any Hive tech? He's getting cracklings, but that's about it. But I mean, dOTY still has a supply lead, right? So he's got a little bit of supply lead, 120 against the 103 of Sziky. But after that failed attack, it does put him in a bit of an awkward position. He's got only 1 High Templar with his army. Once again, favoring just a lot of Dragoons. No Observer though with the army. So he's got, oh no, there's an Observer. I'm sorry. But the Templar only has 1 storm on it. It needs a couple more energy. Okay, now it has 2 storms. And the 3rd base is up though. I'm a little bit surprised Sziky wasn't more active about stopping this. He's usually very good about sending in Zerglings to stop it. But it looks like he's just gonna push this main Protoss army back. dOTY just trying to find a favorable engagement angle. Just basically doing like almost like a PVT style, where you engage the army when the Lurkers are unburrowed, and then as soon as they burrow, you just pull back a little bit. Good stuff. Oh no, the High Templar might get sniped. It's got 2 storms.
Yeah. dOTY really has not favored High Templar at all in this series. Always very low numbers. He does have 2 more back at his main, now moving out to rejoin with the army, but still 3 High Templars is a very low number for this point in the game. And it is very fortunate that dOTY was able to get up that Nexus. Yeah, definitely, as you said, uncharacteristic for Sziky to allow that to go up. He's usually so aggressive, especially at that point in the game where there's a Protoss army, and it's only big enough to be completely out on the map and not have remnants back at home. It's easy for Lings to be able to deny that a bit. But Sziky has Hive. Only now getting his Hive tech though, Defiler Mound and Ultralisk Mound, both about halfway. And this is going to be something really hard for dOTY to fight without high numbers of High Templar once he gets those units out onto the field.
Yeah, and it looks like dOTY already getting his 4th base at the bottom left. Looks like he's content to actually just go to a long game with Sziky, which is usually not advisable. By the way, this 3rd gas is so annoying. Man, I'm like questioning everything I know now about gases getting mannered. I like don't even know anymore. Ugh. questioning my very existence. But Sziky's moving around the left side with a lot of lurkers. I don't know if he actually saw the bottom left base yet, but he could just be going for a counterattack on the 6 o'clock base. But can he hold on to his own natural, though? He doesn't have any defilers to help out. This is a very big army. The Zealot's still taking a lot of damage from these lurkers on the ridge. Is it going to matter? Sziky looks like a bit of indecision here. He's got some units all over the place. Looks like he's bringing the lurkers home to defend, but he's sending the Hydralisks down to the bottom left to take out that base. A huge storm on the Zerglings. The Spore Colony doing what it can. It looks like this bottom left base will have to be cancelled. But even if it does, it looks like, oh no, all the lurkers running in clumps. They're going to get stormed into oblivion here. Oh my god. Great storms. Where's the Observer, though? I don't see the Observer anymore. Did the Observer die? I do not see the Observer. Oh, he stormed down the Observer. I thought I heard that sad sound of the Observer dying, but it looks like it might not even matter. Oh, can he get another storm on the Clump Lurker? Yes, he does! Beautiful storm. There's so many Dragoons remaining. Still 4 High Templars with 3 storms between them. They can still storm all the Lurkers, but it looks like Sziky is pulling back the Hydras and Lings. It's going to be really close here, but dOTY is losing steam here. He's losing a lot of his units. He's done massive damage, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. He hasn't even run a Zealot into the main or anything, and it looks like Sziky's going to clean it up. Sziky's got this! Oh my god.
Yeah, dOTY did make the best of his storms, and he had 5 High Templar, but there were just so many units from Sziky, and he waited long enough with the reinforcements from the back where there was really nothing that dOTY could do but forced to be surrounded. He was able to whittle it away pretty quickly once all the Zealot escorts were down, and it was just control group and a half of goons. And in the meantime, dOTY did lose that bottom left expansion, as you said. A probe going to reestablish it, but there are Hydralisks there to immediately shut it down. No, I don't think the Hydralisks saw it. So the probe might be able to sneak up. Oh, no, there's the Zergling. Never mind.
Yeah,
going in for another attack on the natural. Backing off, though. You saw the Ultralisk.
See one Ultralisk, immediately run away. That's an excellent strategy, I think. I mean, you know, wait, Corum, was it you? I think somebody asked me for advice, you know, like they said, oh, I'm gonna play ZVP in the D ranks invitational thing, or individual league. Like, how do I win ZVP? And my advice was simple. You simply hit the U key, select all your larvae, press U, and A-move your way to victory. It's very easy, actually, ZVP. Anyway, looks like the probe at the bottom left did get sniped, so dOTY's sending out his army to take care of it. But I mean, he's at 140 supply against Sziky's 153. He is behind on supply when at this point the Protoss should be ahead. That's not good. That is in fact less than ideal. And look at that! Look at that! Little snipe there on the Dragoon.
Yeah, I don't see any defilers out for Sziky, but really he doesn't need any. Uh-oh.
Storm! Meh. Is he actually going to win this engagement though? No, he's got no Archons, he can't win. Yeah, you can't win against Ultraling without Archons or Reavers. Or both. And GG from dOTY. Sziky reclaims the lead in the series. He is now 3-2 against dOTY. But this is a best of 9. You must gain an entire 5 wins over your opponent to take the series. So it's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Oops. Yeah. And really, that was the kind of game that I was worried about for this series. That dOTY would attempt to play something that's very standard and then get outclassed by Sziky, because Sziky will beat you when you try to play standard.
Man, there were some times that looked really close though. Like the initial attack when the Lurkers weren't ready yet and he had a billion Zealots and 2 DTs. And then the second time where he was like attacking there and it's just like Sziky's army was not in position. I was just like, oh my god, he's gonna win! And then Sziky was like, no, I'm actually really good. He can't win. And I was sad. Anyway, I am in game number 6. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please go upvote the Reddit thread, please go tweet, please go do whatever you have to do to get more people to watch this awesome series. Tell all those haters that dOTY is actually taking games off of Sziky. This is actually an awesome series so far. Alright, So we are going on Tau Cross. Game number 6. Sziky leading 3-2 in this best of 9 for $1,000, guys. 1K.
Wow. Were you looking at dOTY's split, or were you looking at Zyky's split?
I was looking at dOTY's, but I wasn't paying attention though.
Oh, it was a really weird split. And apparently he can't control his units. I don't know if that's a reference to the probes or in reference to last game. But in the top right, we have dOTY as the red Protoss. In the bottom left, we have Sziky as the yellow Zerg. Oh man, and what better place to pull out strategies from 2005 than Tau Cross?
I mean, I know Sziky was around back then, but was dOTY? I think dOTY was as well. dOTY's... I'm not sure. Oh man, I was gonna read their Wikipedia pages actually before this, but I forgot. But I mean, I'm sure Sziky...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
dOTY's been around for a long time, because he was on LRM for 3 or 4 years, even before all the stuff that's on Wikipedia. So, I mean, he might have started in 2006, but he's certainly been around for quite a while.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I know Zyky's definitely been around for a while. I mean, he was very prominent in TSL2 as well, but wasn't sure about dOTY. Anyway, looks like a pylon at the front here. Gonna set up for a forge fast expand. Interestingly, he's just queuing up probes. He's not going for a blind Nexus first, is he? Because dOTY, or Sziky rather, just gone for a 9 pool with gas trick, by the way.
Yeah. Probe on the way though. He'll be able to build a forge. Should
Oh my god, is this a fake? Oh my god, I don't think that probe actually went into the base. I don't think he actually saw it. Is he building a forge? Oh, he's building a forge though. Wait, did he not go into the base?
He went into the base. He might not have gone far enough to see the spawning pool because it's on the far side. He now is though, so he didn't delay anything.
Shit. Oh shit! No, I think he's gonna be fine. Actually, it's gonna be close. Is he gonna make 6 links? No, he's gonna make a hatchery. Okay,
yeah.
So he won't have enough money for links.
Interesting. He had an overlord over the forge, so he saw that the cannons weren't even started.
Yeah, I guess he just knows the timing down well enough that he's like, well, even if I make 6 links now, if dOTY just pulls 2 probes, he'll be fine. So he just made the hatchery instead. He might have even been counting on dOTY overreacting and making 2 cannons anyway. But yeah, he's doing the standard thing that you hate, which is he's just making 2 lings off a 9 pool.
Yeah. I don't know. It would have been really close if he had built the 6 lings and just gone for it, because the cannons take so long to come in. And the upside of doing that is you win the game immediately. And the downside is you delay your hatchery an extra 10 seconds compared to how delayed it already is.
Meanwhile,
Alright.
bit of a funky wall here, but then again, I don't actually know how to wall on Tau Cross either, so that's fine. I actually just have no idea. I always mess up my walls on this map. It's just such an awkward thing to wall, because it's like, it's kind of diagonal. Like, look how the walls are like tilted. They're not like just the cliffs, like on Fighting Spirit or whatever. They're just actually diagonal, which is kind of mind-bending. Ugh, it's horrible. Anyway.
Yeah,
like
you know the maps are bad. You know the maps are bad to wall on when you see a good number of players start using the Nexus as part of their wall.
Yeah.
They just do not know what they're doing.
Like on dOTY, where it's like you have to make the Nexus as part of your wall. Oh man.
Like on dOTY, like on Blue Storm.
Yeah, it's so sad, so sad. Anyway, it looks like 7X core is going up. Probe's still staying alive here in the main base. Good stuff, solid lair.
Yeah.
And nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Now Sziky has taken this normal third here. Let's see if he goes for some kind of, well, no, he's at, I was going to say let's see if he goes for 5 hatch, but it's obviously not because he's already got his gas. But you know, Tau Cross is definitely a favorable map for that kind of style, that kind of mass hatchery Hydra style. But Sziky doesn't seem to be a huge fan of that. And you know, since he's got such amazing muta micro, I can kind of see why.
Yeah. I do find it a little bit interesting that Sziky decided to go for that third, because if you're going to go for mutalisks, if you're going to be going for mutalisks, it's not a huge difference to put it at the far away base like you did on the Aztec map, and there is no way to make a SimCity at this. It's just there is no natural terrain to defend yourself. It's completely open.
Yep.
So if you don't do horrible amounts of damage with your Mutalisks, you're very vulnerable to a mid-game Protoss attack at that base, where if you did it at the other natural, you would be able to get some kind of SimCity. Still not terribly easy on this map, but it's certainly better than anything you can make at the third.
That is an excellent point, and you know what? dOTY is in fact going for a fast +1 speed lot attack, but oh no, the Zekylings! The Zekylings! Oh god, Hacklebeast is gonna cry! No, dOTY! dOTY! For Hacklebeast's pride, you must not lose. You must now win this game. You are actually now required to win this game. Oh god,
no.
Oh god, oh no! But Sziky is gonna have +1 speed zells, but not for a little while though, and now he's losing so much mining time. And Sziky did actually get a fast second gas, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna be mutas. This is just like has all the indications of mutas, and dOTY's gonna be in a lot of trouble now. Oh god. Oh god, Hacklebeast's gonna start sobbing in a second. No! No, he's just not mining at all with these probes. Oh god, he's gonna run into the main.
dOTY did such a good job of delaying them
God.
getting into the main, but it was inevitable.
And look, now
It
he
was
scouts
kind of
everything as
inevitable.
well. Now he sees the fast Citadel, he sees no Stargate, so he knows exactly what's going on. Why the hell is there a Dragoon here? Doesn't even have a kill. There's not even an Overlord here. I don't know what's going on. But it looks like actually dOTY manages to finish off the links in the main fairly easily. He needs to put 2 guys back on his main gas though. Unless that's intentional because he's only making zelds. I don't think it is though, but oh no! Oh no, the mutas!
Mutalisks.
The mutas!
The
Big cannons!
There are no
Where are the
cannons.
Oh
There
god.
are 0 cannons.
Oh dear.
dOTY's about to feel vindicated for what happened on
Oh,
Heartbreak.
instant GG! Instant GG! Oh god.
That's 2.
I'm gonna
1
cry.
was almost guaranteed. 2 was a borderline. 3. It was always 3.
Alright,
That's just like,
Hacklebeast,
no, Sziky, you gotta...
You're just increasing your limit, and it can only be 3 as
No.
well, because if dOTY loses one more game, then that'll be the series.
Yeah, you can quote me in the... You can quote me in the altitude thread. I haven't changed it from there.
Alright.
It was always more than 2.
Alright. That's fair.
More than
That's
2
fair.
games.
Okay, so dOTY, if you lose one more game to Zekylings, Hacklebeast is
Yeah,
gonna cry. dOTY, you gotta win now, man. You gotta win 3 straight games. You got this. dOTY, I believe. I believe in my Protoss brother. He's got this, man. It's fine.
Okay. If dOTY managed to put up some great games and go 2-2 versus Sziky, then loses 3 straight to Zekylings, everyone should be crying. I'm not going to be alone.
Dude,
Because that's just such
but
a sad
it's not
way.
gonna happen because dOTY's actually gonna win the whole series now. Alright? Don't worry about it. It's fine. And by the way, guys, I have a little announcement of an announcement, a little teaser. Of course, as most of you probably know, there is going to be a show match between the winner of the ISL3 and a unknown Korean mystery player who I will be revealing the identity of at the end of this series. So yeah, get excited for that. It should be quite good. And that's going to be casted tomorrow by, I believe, Hacklebeast and Elegant?
Indeed.
Alright, excellent. But first, we must see the winner. This is going to be the last game. Can dOTY stay alive? Will Ground Zero be his final resting ground?
Oh, in the top left, we have dOTY as the green Protoss. In the bottom right, we have Sziky as the orange Zerg. It is going to be cross positions. That's a good start.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Wait, doesn't that mean he has to play a long game, though? Isn't that big trouble?
Kind of. But I don't cry if he loses a long game.
That's true, it's true.
So,
I mean,
minor
to be
victories.
fair, I think just like starting a game of StarCraft with Sziky, it just means you're in trouble already. It's like already bad news, so yeah, that's fine.
yeah. Man, he's got to get back. He's got to get back to reverse air DT badness.
Yeah, he's gotta do that sick build. He hasn't done it again. I don't know why. dOTY, do the sick build, man. Do the new Visu build. It's not gonna be Visu build. It's the Neo dOTY build, guys. Look, like, dude, 2-3 years from now, there's gonna be like, you know, dOTY's gonna be famous. He's gonna have like Wikipedia articles about him. There's gonna be like a final edit on TL about dOTY and how he revolutionized PvZ again. And it's gonna be so crazy because then like Bisu's gonna read the article. He's gonna be like, oh my god, how can this guy take away my title? That's not fair. And he's gonna like everyone's gonna switch back to Broodor again. dOTY's gonna single-handedly save esports. It's gonna be beautiful, man. It's beautiful. 9 pull again, by the way, from Sziky. And 2 gates at the natural from dOTY. This is very interesting. I don't know about doing this against a 9 pull though. I'm not quite sure how this works. I guess we'll see how the micro is, but this is going to be another case of dOTY's, you know, amazing Zealot micro versus Sziky's amazing Ling micro. And the first time that happened on Bloody Ridge definitely went in favor of Sziky. Let's see what happens this time. Now the thing is, even if it doesn't quite work out, dOTY can always just wall this in more with another building and just like, make cannons behind and expand. But he definitely wants this to do some damage, and unfortunately for him, Sziky has scouted cross map with the drone, so he's going to see it.
Yeah, you can see by the scouting path that the Overlord barely saw the probe out of the corner, so the drone changed direction, and the probe did not, so the probe went all the way into the main before turning around. Yeah, it certainly is. It's kind of odd to see both players go for such early aggression on a very big 4-player map. But 6 Lings are out. We're not going to see any weird 2-ling stuff out of Sziky. Just going to play it completely normally. And there is 3 Zealots. There will be 3 Zealots out for dOTY to try to stop Ling run by.
And the probe goes in here, and it actually sees more Lings being produced here. There's an expansion, but Sziky keeps making Lings, and this is still a wide area for these Zealots to cover. They can't really block this completely just yet, and they won't even want to either, because even if they just like block it and hold position, the Lings can just start attacking the gateways. Like, there's no forge yet, he can't make a cannon, and as you can see, that's exactly what's going on here. Sziky can start attacking this, so he's basically forcing the Zealots out. Looks like he's trying to force the Zealots out of position so he can run the 2 Lings into the main. It looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here. Oh my goodness, 2 Sziky Lings running into the main base, but 1 Zealot is going to chase them down, and the rest of the Zealots are going to go on the counter offensive here. Meanwhile, this natural hatchery is almost done. A drone immediately coming down. I think he's just going to build a creep colony here as soon as the hatchery finishes, and he's going to need it too, because the Zealots are on the way. The 2 Lings in the main looks like they haven't done any damage yet. No kills on either Ling. The 1 Zealot is still chasing them around. Take a look at the probe count, by the way. dOTY's probe count is much better than Sziky's drone count, but dOTY's just got to be careful not to let his Zealots just get surrounded or anything. And it looks like Creep Colony is about to pop here. It'll morph into a Sunken very quickly. Looks like the Ling is still just running around in the main. They actually have 1 kill already, 1 probe kill. And Sziky's actually expanding again to the bottom left. I don't know if that's the best idea here. I think Sziky's actually overextending himself a little bit. The Sunken Colony is on the way. 1 Zealot actually not attacking yet. Come on, how good is dOTY's Zealot Micro? Let's see it. The infamous Zealot Micro, and he's going to get the Sunken. Is he going to get the Sunken? He needs to focus down the Sunken maybe. No, he's taking down the Zergling instead. Now he gets down the Sunken, but he did take a lot of damage there, and it looks like it's going to be an almost even exchange here, but dOTY's rallying in Zealots from his 2 gateways, but Sziky does have the defender's advantage here. He's making more and more Zerglings, but his drone count is really, really low. I don't know if he can actually keep up with dOTY's production right now. dOTY's actually resumed pro production, or actually I don't know if he ever even stopped it, but it looks like Sziky, is he going to be able to hold another Zealot coming in here? dOTY's got to be very careful. Individual Zealots are not particularly efficient against Lings. They're actually much, much better in pairs. Looks like he's going to back off once again. Going to rejoin with Zealots. There's now 3 Zealots against these Lings. There's actually 1 drone just not mining, just helping out the Zealots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drones on minerals only. The 9th drone is helping the attack. dOTY, can he do it? Can he keep his ISL hopes and dreams alive here with this 2-gate? He's not expanding. He's not transitioning out of it. He's just constantly pumping Zealots. He's making a forge now. Man, can he engage here? Sziky's just trying to buy time for the Sunken Colony. Is Hackleby still alive? Hackleby, are you crying yet?
Not quite. In the meantime, Sziky did lose those 2 Lings in the base, a little bit slip of the micro, so they only managed to get 1 probe kill overall. dOTY avoiding disaster there. And I was letting you just keep going on because this is a very tense situation. dOTY does have a large number, but if he's not careful, he'll get surrounded. This game definitely does remind me of that game versus Schnitzel. It was also on ground zero, and that third base is just what Sziky does. He doesn't quite play to his opponent as much as you might want him to. He just wants to continue doing what is normal, where this certainly called for something that was not normal. And he's now making a lot of lings, but if he's not able to hold it right here, it's going to be directly because of this third base that's just not making him the money that he invested. It's such a costly expansion for when he's so close to being overrun by dOTY's zealots.
It's so interesting because he's actually making drones from that expansion. I half expected him to make Zerglings to go counterattack against dOTY, but dOTY actually does smartly have a cannon already at the natural there. He's actually also getting a cybernetic score. I thought he would expand behind this, but actually he's taking up on just one base. So he's essentially doing a one-base play here, whereas Ziky's on 3 bases. So Sziky, I think, might completely misread the situation. His Overlord is just chilling by the gateways. It's not checking to see if there's an expansion. If I was Sziky right now, I would certainly expect there to be a Nexus instead of one-base tech. But it looks like dOTY's going in right now, and Ziky's links were not in the perfect position. The Sunken Colony taking a lot of damage already, but it looks like he is going to get a decent surround on the Zealots. Doesn't even matter. The drone's coming off the line. The Zealots doing an amazing job against the Zerglings. Sziky is in a lot of trouble. There were too many Zealots here. There are still 8 Zealots. 7 Zealots rather alive in the base. He's using the drones and Zerglings to defend, but Sziky is in so much trouble. I don't think he can defend. He's making as many Zerglings as he can, but the Zealots are too strong. Sziky is in big trouble right now in this game number 6. We could go to, or game number 7. I don't know what game number this is. It doesn't matter. Sziky is gonna maybe lose it. Why are these things not attacking? Why are these things not attacking? It doesn't matter. Sziky's dead. Is he? I don't know.
No, a lot of those zealots are damaged, so he only has 2 left, and he's lost them all. 2 more coming in. Those ones will be at full health, but it's just 2 zealots. How much damage can he do with them? He has managed to take out a couple of drones already in the main, plus the ones he's gotten in the natural. So he's certainly doing damage with these zealots, but will he be able to get the outright win? Still continuing to micro, getting good, doing good damage with them, keeping them alive as long as possible, waiting for more reinforcements to come in, but now he's going to be surrounded. Oh, just barely getting out of there. Oh, and more Zealots coming in from the back. He really needs more than 2. 2 is just too vulnerable against these Zerglings. And now, oh man, it looks like he's trying to back off with the Zealots, hiding one in the corner, the other 2 threatening to go home a little bit, but getting into a better position to fight these Lings. Ultimately going to die anyway.
Yeah, Sziky actually rallying in lings from the bottom left of the last second, but I think dOTY probably saw those coming, so yeah, he's now going to go look for that third base. He's checking this bottom third. Looks like the one Zealot in the main base does get spotted, but the thing is, the Stargate is almost done, and Sziky has no anti-air. He has no tech anywhere. He just started mining gas again. Like, he can maybe make a Hydra Den right now, but he's going to lose a couple of Overlords at least, and you look at his first Corsair is coming out. He's going to start taking down this Corsair at the front here, and Sziky's like, and he's going to go for a counterattack. Looks like a second cannon at the front here. dOTY realizes that he just needs to be defensive because Sziky is going to have a lot of lings here. I think Sziky might just do a ling all-in now, and if dOTY can hold that, he'll be in good shape, but he's going to lose the last of his Zealots. He's got to make more Zealots from these gateways. His Zealots just now started. Sziky looks like at least he doesn't have... Does he have speed? He doesn't have speed, does he? No, he doesn't have speed. He doesn't have gas for it. But Sziky's now supply blocked. Sziky cannot make any more units right now. He does have like a control group and half of lings, and... Oh no, I'm sorry, I thought those were the Zealots moving out. No, it is just the Corsairs rallied out. Yeah, Sziky, or rather dOTY does need to be careful. He's making 2 cannons. He has actually expanded as well, and he has just such a huge tech lead right now. Can Sziky save all of his Overlords? He's getting a lair. He's getting an Evolution Chamber at the third base. No Hydra Den in sight. dOTY just going to go look for Overlords. He's going to find another one here in the main base.
That's going to cost dOTY it's going to cost Sziky so much money. The money to replace the Overlords, plus losing the drones to make Spore Colonies and Evolution Chambers, plus the money for the Spore Colonies and Evolution Chambers and the Creep Colonies themselves. And I don't think that's quite enough. No, it's not going to be enough lings to really do much damage. dOTY probably overreacting, pulling a lot of probes, and now putting them back. But 4 cannons is going to be very brutal, and 1 more Zealot, I think, is all he needs to really make that completely secure.
So it looks like somehow we're actually going to end up in a sort of normal-ish mid-game. I mean, dOTY definitely has a nice advantage, though. He's keeping Sziky's supply block, 29 of 27. dOTY's up at 50 supply. His own natural is mining away happily. You know, Zyky's kind of just pinned back in his base. He doesn't have a good drone count at all. Look at that, only 3 drones mining at his natural. He's even forced to make another sunken colony because he's not sure how many units are going to be coming out here. His Ling's not going to do too amazingly against the mass zealots. It's like +1 on the way for them as well. And we have another gateway and a Templar Archives and +1 air weapons.
Yeah, dOTY's actually stopped just Corsair production to be able to get that tech, but he's just going to have so many Corsairs and such a head start over his opponent before Zyky could possibly have a Spire. I'm not even sure if he's going to go for Spire because it's going to be so late. Well, he has a drone in position. It looks like he will in fact be going for just a very late Spire, but dOTY could have upwards of, what, 8-10 Corsairs before the first Scourge get out if he really wanted to?
You know, it's
and they'll
funny.
have +1.
Sorry. Yeah, it's just funny because he got 2 Spore Colonies at the bottom left just because of this Corsair threat. Like, he knows he doesn't really have any units to deal with it, so just making a bunch of Spores to help out. But even with those Spores there, I think if dOTY decides to commit, he can actually just kill the Overlords. And as you can see at the natural, he's deciding, well, I'll just go for it anyway. I don't really care. And he has actually supply blocked Zyky once again here. He does also see the Spire all the way. Meanwhile, looks like speed is done for the Zealots. They're going to move out. Where's +1? Looks like it's a little over halfway done. He's adding on another gateway here. I think it would be really cool if he made a Robo and just like DT drops the main. There'd be actually 0 things that Zyky could do against that. Be literally defenseless. You know, no speed Overlords, nothing to stop the Corsairs. He just would lose his entire main base. But it looks like it's just going to be a huge Zealot attack here. Nice SimCity going down for Zyky, but there's only 1 Sunken Colony finished right now. The drones are coming off the line. There's no +1 yet for the Zealots, but it looks like the Lings were on hold position a little bit too long, kind of standing there stupidly. The drones are actually getting taken down before the Lings even engage. The second Sunken Colony does come online. I think Zyky will be able to hold this. It's going to be close, but yeah, Zyky will be able to hold. He did lose a lot of drones there, though. Unfortunately for him, his engagement was a little bit off. Losing the drones before the Lings even were doing anything. Meanwhile, there is a Robo at the front, but dOTY's kind of walled himself in a little bit. He's going to have to kill the cannon, I think, to get Dragoons out. And he's double Robo. He's got 2 Robos.
DT
What?
out at the... The...
Hackle Beast. Why
That
does he
is
have 2 Robos?
weird. I don't know. He doesn't have the economy to support anything off of 2 Robos.
Clearly, he's being inspired by the semi game here. I mean, we already saw him make a billion like double speed shuttles. Now he's just like, well, better make 2 Robos. It's probably just a mistake. I hope he realizes this and decides to just make a million Reavers for lols.
I hope he realizes it and cancels one of them, because that's really expensive. But going in with more speed lots down on the bottom left, there are no Zerglings or Hydralisks, just those 3 Sunken Colonies, but a great SimCity to try to defend them. Drones are being pulled. They're doing a great job of slowing them down. There's also a DT coming in, but so many Overlords and 2 Spore Colonies, it's not going to be very invisible at all. The Zealots are still going after more Sunken Colonies, but no, and very little damage done. dOTY throwing away his entire Zealot force. He still has a couple in there trying to do damage, and he did find a sweet spot where the Sunken Colonies don't quite reach. So it can continue to be a little bit annoying, but still, not a whole lot of damage done.
Man, dOTY's got to stop suiciding units like that, because he's just going to let Zyky come back in this game. I swear to God, if Zyky wins this game, I'll be so sick. But I mean, he already did do a pretty sick comeback against Bibian in their Bloody Ridge game, so I wouldn't be too surprised. However, there is a shuttle on the way, and it looks like dOTY might finally be going for my DT drop suggestion. Unfortunately, he only actually has 1 Dark Templar here, and Overlord speed is almost done. So it won't be as effective as if he tried it earlier, but it still could be quite effective because, of course, Zyky is relying very heavily on good SimCity and Sunken Colonies as opposed to just units to help defend himself. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of an elevator here. Going to send the Zealots in first, followed by the DT. Meanwhile, it looks like the double Robos are not actually doing anything besides making obs. Oh, he made 2 observatories as well! He made 2 Robos and 2 observatories. What the hell? What? What? This is like taking Combat X to the next level, guys. Guys, double Robo, double obs. He literally wants twice as many observers. Okay. Nice little target.
Spire was sniped by the Zealots. Yeah, Hydra's coming in, but it's not going to be enough by themselves. and there's still a good chance to do more damage with the DTs and Zealots that are still in there. Of course, there's trying to keep the Overlords away, doing a pretty good job. That DT is going to be able to do a lot of damage, although it only has a couple more shots, and once an Overlord comes in, it can be picked off immediately. There it goes, but still managing at the spawning pool along with that Spire. Great damage done.
Yeah, taking down all of that expensive tech. It looks like dOTY's trying to get a third base up now at that 12 o'clock-ish position. There's one link there, not quite in position to actually see it, but it will see dOTY's units moving in to kill it, so it'll probably suspect that that is in fact what's going on. But this robo is just like hilarious to me. I can't, like, not only making the double robos, but also the double obs. This is like so good. That is so much gas, by the way. That's actually 300 gas that's completely wasted for the robo and obs, which is like obviously not ideal. But dOTY's still pretty far ahead, so it doesn't make too much of a big difference. 70 supply now for Sziky against the 122 supply of dOTY.
Oh man.
He's got to keep his units together a little bit though. Go ahead.
It's like if it's like dOTY's thinking, well, if I get lurker busted, I want to have obs. I want to still be able to make obs. But at the same time, if there's a doom drop with lurkers in my main, I lose my entire main. I still want to be able to make obs.
Yeah, dude, he's safe against everything. It's the best build.
At the very least, he's not producing obs out of both robos.
Oh, Storm. Brutal Storm there. But it looks like it's going to be a Hydra counterattack, though. Going to pick off some reinforcing units here. And he might actually be able to go here and kill this expansion of dOTY. dOTY's got a shuttle here, but it doesn't really have anything in it. Looks like a couple of Dragoons going to go try and help out. There's a couple of cannons there as well. Basically going to be guarding this choke point. And might do a decent job of it. While the Dragoons looks like they've taken down the macro hatchery. It's basically opened up the sunken line to be much more vulnerable. And it looks like he is going to go for it. Just going to forget about this counterattack. He's going to use his reinforcements. And oh! 6 Storm on the Hydralisks. The High Templar moving in. They can even get the drones. Are they going to get the drones, or are they going to save it for the units? That's a lot of stacked drones. I'm waiting for the storms, dOTY. I'm waiting. I'm going to keep waiting and waiting. Oh! Interception on the drone train. Hello. Oh god, Storm on the ramp Hydras as well. However, most of the ground units are actually gone, but I don't think it matters. I think the damage has been done. Sziky bringing back his Hydralisks to help defend, but it is too little too late. Looks like a bit of a missed Storm there just at the end, but it doesn't matter. He's already got the money Storms off. And Sziky drops the 48 supply against the 90, almost 100 supply of dOTY. Looks like he will clean up the attack, but he just lost so many units, lost so many drones, and more importantly, lost his all-important Sim City here with all the sunken. So now when the next attack comes, he's going to be in big trouble. He doesn't even have a spawning pool. Does he not have a spawning pool? Wait. Does he not have a spawning pool? He actually can't make sunken colonies anymore. I don't see a pool anywhere. Sziky has no spawning pool, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, dOTY might have been able to close out the game right there if those storms had been a little bit sooner. But he let those Hydralisks on the ramp live for so long that he didn't quite have enough units afterwards to finish it up. But as you said, no sunken colonies is quite a problem. He is completely reliant on Hydralisks and Lurkers. Those are the only units Sziky can make right now, as dOTY moves in once again with a Zealot Goon High Templar combination. A little bit fragmented though.
Yeah,
coming in trying to.
I don't like how how dOTY keeps spreading his army out. It just makes him so vulnerable to like Sziky running in with a few Hydras or Lings and picking off High Templar for free. Meanwhile, there's like 1 lurker, 2 lurkers out in random locations. I mean, you know, that's nice, but dOTY has double Robo Obs. Your lurkers, they do nothing. Meanwhile, it looks like he's gotten tired of his Dragoons running out on that weird path, so he killed the cannon, but the Dragoons are still going to take the weird path anyway. Because they're Dragoons, and they are very intelligent. Anyway, it looks like dOTY actually hasn't continued his upgrades past +1, which is kind of interesting.
I haven't kept that close of a tab on the robos, but when I've gone back and forth, I noticed that he's alternating between the robo facilities, and he's never producing out of both of them, but sometimes he's producing out of the one in the main and sometimes producing out of the one in the natural.
Dude, maybe...
So you can like work them in shifts.
Maybe dOTY actually still doesn't know that he has 2 robos. Maybe he's got like some weird split personality where like one half of his brain thinks that he only has the robo in the main and the other half only thinks that he has the robo as natural, and somehow he like keeps switching between personalities in the middle of the game. How crazy would that be? This is actually all like some weird psychological movie or something where it's like dOTY's some schizophrenic dude. That'd be pretty crazy.
Oh man, oh, good storm going down, hitting a lot of those Hydralisks and forcing them back. There's not a whole lot of units here. It's really down to the lurkers to try to defend. He does have very nice upgrades, but it's just, I don't know if it's enough lurkers. dOTY didn't send his observers very far forward though, so he really doesn't have a good grasp on exactly how large Sziky's army is.
Looks like a random goon just gonna run into the Hydra army though. Poor thing. And dOTY, by the way, I think this is actually the most High Templars he's had in any of the games so far. He's actually decided the High Templars are in fact pretty good units, so you should make some. And you know what? They are pretty good units, and you should make some. He's got a 7 though. I think that's a little bit excessive. I generally am of the opinion that you don't need more than 5 or 6 even in a big army, just because like they'll, you know, if you don't engage, like if you just hang around for a while, they'll all have at least 2 storms, right? So do you really need more than 10 storms in an engagement? I'm not so certain that you do. And even if you do, it's just like, do you really have the APM to pull all of them off really nicely? Anyway, I mean, dOTY's at 150 supply against the 115 of Sziky. Sziky's actually kind of slowly pulling his way back in the supply, but it's mostly in Hydras, which are not that amazing. And he's still on 3 bases, and dOTY's getting his 4th up, so he's still pretty screwed.
I do think the High Templar depended on the player, because there's some good storm. There's some players like Mazur who can have 10 High Templar in his army and has just such great storm placement, and then always, even after throwing down so many storms, still has constantly storms to plenish in every engagement after that. It's not as if he runs out of storms. But dOTY's making a lot of progress here, killing off a lot of these Hydralisks, now taking out the lurkers. Still good storms going down. Oh, that was, the last one was great. It's killing so many of those Hydralisks. And there are no Zealots to defend the Dragoons, but there are so many Dragoons left. Oh, if dOTY's careful here, he can keep all of these alive, and it's still a pretty good Goon Corps, and now has Archons. Those Archons are going to be able to tank a lot of the damage. I would say defend against Zerglings, but I don't even think he has a spawning pool still. Still hasn't quite gotten around to rebuilding that.
It's so funny though, because Sziky actually has 2-1 upgrades, and dOTY only has 1-0. Like, that's why his Hydras are actually doing a decent job against this army. I keep looking at this, and like every time he gets stormed, I'm like, okay, now dOTY's just gonna A-move and win. And DD's like, or Sziky's rather, like, nope, I'm actually not. And oh, he might get the last ult. Oh, barely doesn't. There's too many Dragoons and Archons underneath. Meanwhile, Sziky just trying to send in Hydras, trying to survive. He's taking the bottom left main there, but dOTY's already got this top right base-ish. And oh, gonna snipe the High Templar. No, doesn't quite get it. It almost has enough energy for 2 storms, so that would have been really nice. Looks like he tried to get the other obs once again. Just trying to trying to buy time with that, but not gonna work out here. And it looks like finally it's gonna be a GG from Sziky. dOTY taking game number 7. We are going to a game 8, ladies and gentlemen. The score is 4-3 in favor of Sziky. dOTY is putting up a magnificent fight here against someone who is basically unarguably the top foreigner who is currently still active. It's just like, wow. And the top foreigner by far, you know. dOTY, man, what a hero, what a boss.
Absolutely, it's, oh man, it's amazing. It all, just a really great game from dOTY. There were a couple attacks in there that maybe were a little bit suspect, but even with the big lead he had, it was such a long drawn out game that there were plenty of opportunities to just let the lead fade away if he made too many mistakes. But he just kept it up, just kept playing, and man, he's brought it to 3-4 versus Sziky. It's amazing.
It is indeed. Oh man, I'm so pumped. It's gonna be on Benzium. You can see some like sick long game on this map. Of course, it's a 2-player map, but it's very easy to split the map. The map architecture definitely lends itself to long split map games. So I am super pumped. Come on, come on, Protoss fighting. I just want to see a game 7 actually. Like if Sziky wins at the end, I'm okay with that. But or rather not game 7, a game 9. I want to go to a final game. Come on, let's go, let's go. Game 9, guys. Game 9. Here we go.
Oh, man. In the top right, we have dOTY, the orange Protoss, and we have Sziky as the purple Zerg bottom left. Man. Okay. We take a head count of how many people in ISL could take Sziky for 3 games in a series. What do you think the over-under of that is? Like over-under of 2?
But that is an excellent
2.5?
point though, because Zyky's actually lost more games in this series than he has in the entire ISL so far.
He's lost 3 times as many games.
Yeah, dOTY's cheesing, by the way. He's cheesing. He's cheesing.
Yeah.
He's got his life on the line. This like if he loses this game, he's gonna lose in the finals, but he doesn't care. He's gonna cheese. I don't even know where he's building these gateways either. I hope he finds somewhere that's actually buildable, because a lot of this ground actually isn't buildable. Oh god, please find it, please. He can go to the third. He can go to the minute only. I think that's what he's doing. Oh god, the proxy gateways, the proxy gateways! Is it going to be pool first? No, it's overlooked first from Sziky. Is he going to 12 hatch? Of all games, like Sziky almost always goes for pool first. Okay, no, he's going to overpool. He's going to overpool. But the thing is, overpool isn't even necessarily the best against the 2-gate anyway, against the proxy gateways. Because your hatchery is actually quite late, so you like don't have time to build sunkens there. So even though your lings are out on time, your sunkens are actually quite slow. And it is going to be 2 gateways here. 9-9 gate at the natural. Or not at the natural, at the third here, at the mineral only. Oh my god, dOTY is busting out all the stops here, and he's even going to block this drone a little bit. Blocking this drone is actually crucial. He does not want this hatchery to finish, because the longer he delays the hatchery, the longer it's going to take for the sunken colonies to get up. And if there's no sunken colonies, even if there's a lot of lings, you know, with good micro, and you know, with the constant reinforcements from the close gateways, he can do some massive damage here. And it looks like he's just going to keep running around with this probe, just going to check and see if there is in fact a pool, what exactly the timing is. He's going to see that the pool is just about to pop here. Looks like he actually just gets in right after it pops. And oh man, if Sziky only makes 2 lings and then makes drones, he's going to be so screwed. Oh god.
No, there's 2 sets of lings.
Alright.
And then making drones. But still, only 4 lings against those first 3 zealots. Or first 2 zealots. I don't know if he's going to go with 2 or 4.
You know, the funny thing
First
is
X
that...
number of zealots.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The funny thing is that recently in Pro League we saw a game very similar to this where it was Zero versus some Protoss, I can't remember, where the Protoss proxy gated. Zero did an overpull but only made 2 Zerglings, but he actually somehow almost came back and won the game. And oh my god, don't show the Zealots, don't show the Zealots, don't show the Zealots, don't show the Zealots, and the Zergling doesn't see the Zealots, but the drone sees it! The drone sees it! Sziky sees what's going on! Sziky's gonna panic mode now, he's gonna go counterattack, he's gonna counterattack with a drone and 3 Zerglings, and he's probably just gonna let the Zealots attack this hatchery and then cancel it at the very last second, just gonna buy some time. He's immediately throwing down 2 sunken colonies in his main base, so basically he's just gonna try do like basically kind of a bit of a base race situation, and dOTY realizes what's going on. He's pulling 1 Zealot back. There are only 3 Zerglings though, and you know, 3 Zerglings in most players' hands aren't that big of a threat, but in Zyky's hands are probably a pretty huge threat. And here we go. This attack, is it gonna work? I don't think it's gonna work. I think the sunken colonies are gonna finish, so dOTY can just like hold the ramp and just chill and then like defend his main. Like he should actually stop making Zealots and like do something else, like make probes or make a nexus or something. It looks like go ahead.
He is in fact starting probe production again. The Zealot's almost back, but not quite. First probe going down. Sziky was actually really passive with these lings. He didn't immediately go for the attack, and now the Zealot is there. Oh, in the last game, Sziky actually messed up the situation a little bit, where he had to divert his attention, and the 2 lings that he got into dOTY's base were picked off by a lone Zealot just because he wasn't looking for a second. This time around, though, he won't have to be microing a battle, so it's less likely, and dOTY, he's thrown down the pylon. He is going to cannon up Zyky's natural.
Oh baby.
Dear.
Oh baby, but look at this, we have a hidden expansion at the bottom right. That's where the drone went. I was like, I thought I saw 3 lings and a drone go out, and then I don't know where the drone went, but he's actually taking a hidden base. Oh my god, this game is crazy. This game is ridiculous. This is such an awesome finals. I'm so happy about this finals. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, the ISL2 finals, it was like a ZVZ, and Sziky just steamrolled Ace. But not this time. We got some Protoss power here going on. Yeah, baby. Oh, get the ling, get the ling. Alright, he's not gonna get the ling.
Okay.
But this is gonna be so bad if he doesn't know about this hatchery, though. It's gonna be so bad.
If dOTY swallows his pride and just builds a cannon to deal with these 3 lings, he'll actually be in an okay position to deal with any lings coming out of a hidden expo.
But it looks like he's actually going for the attack with his Zealots, though. He's got 6 Zealots, but 2 sunken colonies in good position is very difficult. But no, I agree with you. But the thing is, though, if you think about it, you don't want to have to make the cannon in your main. It's like, you know, doing that is usually bad. It's just in this case, because of that hatchery, it is good, but there's no way that dOTY can know that. There's no way.
I know, he needs to be humble. Except he can't kill those 3 lings, and it'll actually come back and help him in another way. dOTY, it's karma, man. dOTY needs to be humble, and then good things will happen to him.
You do a good deed in the past life, and you make a cannon, and then you're fine. But look, he's cannon pushing into the main. That cannon is in range of the geyser. Oh my god, he's actually cannon pushing the main. Sziky's not going to be able to mine gas from his main base. He's building 2 cannons. This is ridiculous. Sziky's actually been forced into an engagement, but there's a cannon on the low ground here. It's going to help out. He manages to take out 1 cannon. Is he going to try and focus down the other cannon? No, the other cannon will finish. Sziky will not be able to mine gas. He's got a Spire up, but he's only going to have enough gas for like 3 mutas, and that's it. But he is going to have gas for 3 mutas, and that is the critical thing here. Will those 3 mutas win him the game? I don't even know. It looks like my Twitch TV chat is even broken. I can't even see what anybody's saying. I can't see the crazy reactions in the chat, but I'm sure people are going wild. It's nerds gone wild here. But oh, there's going to be a run by! Oh no! Oh man, he definitely needs a cannon now. Alright, now he's cannoning the main. Oh, he's sending out a Zell as well. Oh, look at this. Is he going to see it? Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's going into the Sunkens though. Oh my god, this could be a base trade. This could be a base trade. The first Sunken's gonna go down. The second Sunken isn't in a good position for the drones to help defend it. More lings are being made, but that is so many zealots. And now the 1 zealot of dOTY does see the hidden expansion. There's speedlings going towards dOTY's main, but dOTY's making 3 cannons in his main base. He knows it is a base trade situation, but oh my god, he's not microing correctly in the main base of Sziky. He's not microing correctly, but no, it looks like, is it going to be enough? He's got 2 zealots attacking. The drones need to come off and help. The drones need to come off. It looks like the drone in that hidden expansion has taken out all the drones. No, there's 1 drone remaining. Is he going to get the Sunken? Sunken colony is going to go down. No, what? 2 HP. I forgot about building armor. Frickin' building armor, man. That armor value is so imbalanced. I can't even believe it. I cannot even believe it. 2 HP left, but that 1 zealot's going to try and get it. No, he's not going to get it. Oh my god. But the thing is, Sziky, is he making mutas? Oh my god, he's making mutas. He's making a muta. Does he have mutas out already? Where's... I thought he has enough gas for 3 more mutas, but he doesn't have enough minerals. This is actually ridiculous. Looks like dOTY's going to go around the bottom. He's going to see the muta. He does see the muta. He knows what's going on.
So, yeah, I think he saw the Spire anyway when the Zealous came down to the Sunken Colony, and the Mutalisk really isn't going to be able to do much because there are cannons everywhere that are important. I guess they're... Oh, I don't know. I think he needs a few more because Sziky's pumping out lings, and that Sunken Colony is going to finish. He could have built cannons farther up, and with that Sunken Colony gone, they would have been in range of both the hatchery and the lair. Probably not the right move, but just throwing that out there. The Mutalisk will be finding, though, those proxy gateways, and with no anti-air, that Mutalisk could take out the pylon. 9 HP at a time.
Oh man, that was a little bit unlucky for dOTY not to get that Sunken, because if he killed the Sunken, he could have just kept rallying zealots in the main base and like killed drones, you know, forced lost mining time and whatnot, but it looks like he's actually going to go attack the bottom right instead. He's got 6 zealots heading down there. There's 1 Sunken colony, but it's not in good position though. If the drones can't really drill to anything, they can't drill to this gas. I mean, I guess, I don't know, if he drills these drones to his main base, they might pass through the Sunken, but either way, these 6 zealots can do a lot of damage. There's 1 muta there, but mutas have very low DPS. And here we go. There is a second feed colony on the way, but I don't think that's enough units for Sziky to defend this base. Is he gonna use the drones? He's not gonna use the drones. Looks like all the lings gonna get taken down. A second mutalisk on the way. Looks like the eggs morphing actually bugged the zealot outs a little bit, and he might have enough here to stop this. I think he will lose the sunken colony at least. For the mutas, looks like he will have enough time. Maybe. No, he's going to lose a couple of drones. I think he's going to try and save his drones. He's going to run away. Looks like 1 drone is going to get trapped. I think that zealot actually just punched the other zealot. And looks like that will get cleaned up. But this is so ridiculous. Look at this. Sziky only on 1 gas. Actually, he's on no gases right now. He's made his 3 mutalisks, and he actually can no longer make any more mutalisks. He's only just now taking his gas here at the bottom right. And there's a Stargate on the way. There's a Stargate on the way. There's also 4 cannons. This game is absolutely nuts. And there's Dragoons! He's got Dragoons! Oh man, he can actually just micro back to the cannons as well. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful.
He built the Dragoons to take care of the Mutalisk that was attacking the pylon. The pylon lost all of its shields. But now, yeah, the sunken colonies cover everything except for that hatchery. And maybe the Spire, if the Dragoons can get all the way down there. All they need to do is be wary of the Zerglings. Speedlings going in. Speedlings are going to be able to snipe the Dragoons, but he's building another pylon forward. He's going to get more cannons in here to help out. And now a Corsair's out, and the Corsair's going to be able to snipe a lot of these Overlords and really supply block Sziky. He's already supply blocked at this point. Oh, Mutalisk going in. They're going to snipe the pylon. Oh, dOTY's only gateways are now unpowered, so both players can't make units. Sziky supply blocked, dOTY with no gateways.
Dude, units
dOTY
are
doesn't have a
overrated.
Stargate, though.
Look at dOTY just cannon pushing the main. Look at this cannon train. It's like, man, dOTY been watching too many Combat X-Balls or something. But anyway, he's gonna kill all the Overlords though, because there's no anti-air. There's no anti-air. Oh, now there's anti-air. Oh my god, the Dragoons have to micro back. The Mutaling's going in, but they're backing up to the cannons. The cannons, they're preventing the Mutaling from really doing anything here. Sziky just making mass Zerglings. What does he have at the bottom right? He's just pumping Zerglings to not die here. And the funny thing is, the Dragoons without range are like so hard to micro. And it's so funny because you can see like dOTY is used to microing ranged goons. So he kept like moving in and then like trying to shoot, but then the Dragoons were actually out of range, so they didn't do anything. And look at this, he's making 4 cannons! dOTY's making a ridiculous number of cannons. Sziky's actually going for it! He's going for the break on the cannons, but he doesn't have nearly enough units. Oh my god, Sziky manages to kill 1 cannon but loses so many Zerglings and this takes damage on the Mutas. The Corsairs might even be able to finish it off. He's making another Mutalisk right now, but is it going to be enough? The Corsairs doing more damage here. The Corsairs, I think, will be able to take down these Mutas. Is it going to be enough? No! Sziky is in big trouble and now he's got no anti-air. No, looks like 1 Muta is left. Oh, but the Scourge! Oh. Meanwhile, dOTY's actually cannoned his own natural. He's like, is he actually just gonna expand at this point in the game? That's so ridiculous. Oh my god, what an awesome game. Look at how many cannons he has in Zyky's main. He's gotta have the record.
He's building a Citadel, but he doesn't have any gateways.
Dude, why make gateways when you can just make cannons? Seriously.
Why is he building a Citadel?
He actually just mined from that mineral patch and lost the probe. Did you see that? Oh my god.
Yeah.
This game is ridiculous. Dude, I think Zyky's actually just gonna make a spore colony. He's actually just making spores. He's making another hatchery at the bottom right. This game is bonkers, but I think he's gonna lose all his Overlords now. Oh dear.
He doesn't have enough Corsairs to actually kill the Scourge when they come out. So as they pop, they can get Corsair kills.
Can't click this Overlord. Alright, I got it. Micro. Does he have Dragoon range now? Because he's not getting it. I must assume that he has it. Anyways,
I don't think so.
dOTY is finally expanding. Zyky's gonna see this. There's 2 cannons in good positions there, so this feeling's not gonna be able to do anything. They're just gonna kill that 1 probe and run away. This is actually such a sick game. Have you ever built that many cannons in a Zerg's main, Hacklebeast? Because I don't think I have.
Never. Alright, he's got gateways rebuilt in his main. He's now making Dark Templar to follow up, but that Spore Colony is going to be a problem. There are Spore Colonies at both bases. I don't know if he has enough ground forces to actually come in and snipe a Spore Colony and give the Dark Templar a chance to get kills. Once he gets a bunch of Dark Templar and they go for the snipe.
And dOTY's continuing to keep the pressure on here, losing 1 random Dragoon to a Sunken Colony. And it looks like he's actually sending his Corsairs over to the bottom right, but as you said, there is a Spore Colony there already, rather, and there's only 1 Overlord anyway. So this is some kind of weird 2-base on 2-base situation. That's just like, oh, he's gonna find another random Overlord here at the mineral only. That's gonna supply block Sziky once again. Sziky just having to spend so many minerals on those Overlords. I wonder, actually, you know, I wonder if dOTY could make a cannon kind of on the top left of the mineral line.
Oh, Zyky's going in for the break. Oh, they're going for the cannons. The Dragoons are pretty far back, but there's so many Lings. There's nothing actually defending the cannons. The cannons are going to go down pretty quickly. The one on the low ground isn't going to fall, but it's not actually helping out that much because of the mischance. And all of the cannons were taken out on the high ground, and the probe as well. dOTY's actually lost his probe there a bunch of times.
But there's a DT in the bottom right. Hacklebeast, there's a DT. Oh man,
wow.
Sick break on the cannons, but a DT at the bottom right is just cock blocking the entire mining operations of that base. Oh man, DTs are good. Oh, when in doubt, make Dark Templar. And he wasn't even in doubt, he just made them because they're awesome. And look at how many cannons dOTY's got there. Look at each of his bases. 4 cannons in the mineral lines. Like, hey, Sziky, I heard you like attacking with Lings. Let me just make some cannons. Does he still not have Dragoon range?
I think he does now. I think I saw him attack a drone and he had it. But at the same time, if you had Dragoon range, you'd be able to hit the extractor. So I'm not sure.
Corsair, Corsair. Ah, yeah. Hello, cannons.
Wait, we're I don't know where those two Dark Templar were going. They're going around the side that they can't get through because they don't have splash damage. But I don't know how he's gonna break this base.
I'm just thinking though, Sziky, does he realistically have any way to win the game? I mean, he's like being very good at not dying right now, but how does he actually win? How do you actually win this game as Sziky? He's at 41 supply, dOTY's at 85. He's about to take 3 bases, even though, you know, Ziky's only on 2 still. And I just don't see any way for him to win. I think we're going to go to a final game 9, guys. I think this is actually going to go down to the last game. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I mean, I was rooting for dOTY to show us a good series, but this is beyond my wildest hopes and dreams. Seriously, I am like living out a wet dream right now. Actually, that sounds a little bit gross. But guys, a 9-game series between dOTY and Sziky. I don't think anyone would have expected that. It looks like he's finally getting Dragoon range actually just now, and one poor Dragoon's actually stuck behind the Stargate. But that's alright.
Hydralisks are moving forward, and Hydralisks are actually going to be really effective against what dOTY has. Obviously good against the Corsairs if they're a little bit too careless, can take out the Dragoons pretty easily, and as long as he can keep detection, they'll be able to take out the Dark Templar. But dOTY is just so aggressive with his Corsairs, he doesn't mind taking shots on them to constantly keep that detection down, to constantly keep a supply block. dOTY has expanded now to a 3rd base at the 1230-ish location, but dOTY, for the first time in the past 10 minutes or so, has actually been forced completely out of Sziky's main. Sziky going for the bust on the bottom, but that is not going to work. There's way too many units down there. And Ziky's actually going to throw away a lot of units here. They will... No, they don't quite get the cannon. Cannon still has 1 hit point left. And Ziky's forced back once again.
Sick cannon. And also, there was like 40 Ds in that army, which is awesome. Why does dOTY keep running away? He like keeps running away and regrouping. dOTY, you got this, man. You got this. I think he just doesn't want to throw this game away in a silly fashion. So he's playing like ultra conservative right now. This is like ridiculous. This is like conservative to the point of being silly. This is like Westboro Baptist Church Protoss right here. This is just not. This is nonsensical now. He's just expanding it. Go kill him, man. Just kill him. Kill him.
For how bad Ziky's economy is, he's had 3 idle drones at the bottom of his main for I don't know how many minutes now.
Man,
because of a bad rally. And it looks like dOTY, he's going in. This might be the final blow. There are a lot of Hydralisks there, so Swartzwall is in good position, taking hits on the Corsairs, but he doesn't care. He just wants to kill all of the Overlords. And I think that there are enough speeds at lots. They don't have +1, but they don't need +1. A lot of the Hydralisks are dying. Ziky's still trying to pull back, just trying to hide behind any buildings he can. But 2 of the Sunkens have gone down. The 3rd Sunken has gone down. Hydralisks that are spawning are immediately dying. There are only 4 left. 3 Hydralisks left compared to the 5 Dragoons, and it looks like all the Hydralisks will go down, but will reinforcements be able to clean this up before they can do too much damage? This base is almost mined out anyway.
Oh man, he didn't have Hydra range. Or wait, no, that's +1 attack. Wait, what? How is he getting +1 attack? Man, look at this. dOTY barely attacking right before +1 attack finishes, which is kind of like Ehan timing, but I mean, at this point, it's like he could have won anyway, regardless. But Sziky is somehow just not dead still, and once again has actually missed the minerals when he clicked his drones. I don't know how he keeps missing the minerals here. I hope his mouse isn't broken or something, because this is like the 3rd, 4th time we've seen this, where he just like clicks the drones right next to the minerals instead. But
And
go ahead.
Yeah, Sziky, he just can't expand because he needs a really heavy Sim City to be able to defend against anything dOTY throws at him. dOTY now with a very well saturated 3rd base. But Sziky really does need to expand. He's trying to take his natural, going to be immediately stopped by a Dark Templar. There's not even an Overlord coming. So he does cancel it. And that Dark Templar with amazing range kills the drone.
Yeah, that was sick.
Sitting in the middle.
That was so cool. He he was standing like on the little zigzag and he just swiped and the drone died. Like, what on earth? Maybe he like threw his warp blade at the drone or something, just skewered it.
Man.
I don't know what dOTY's doing now. He's got 3 bases,
he's got
and Sziky's on like 2 bases, and he just can't kill him. I mean, this is somewhat of a testament to Sziky's skill. He's like being as hard to kill as a Terran player or something like that. Like if Sziky was Terran, I'd be like, oh, okay, fine, you know, dOTY can't really kill him because he's being, you know, being a Terran. But Sziky's actually being a Zerg right now, and he's still not dying. This is a little bit silly. Look at this probe going to the top left just to make sure Sziky hasn't taken that hit expansion. I'm actually a little bit surprised dOTY is only just now being very active with these, with scouting all the different bases. But it looks like he's going in once again. Mass Zealots coming in here. They do have +1 attack now, but actually the Hydra Link is at 1-1. The Hydras are at 1-1. Sziky this entire time was like, you know what? I'm contained on my main, so I should get upgrades. But GG from Sziky. It's 4-4. We are going to a Game 9, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISL3 Grand Finals. This is the greatest foreigner tournament in existence since the TSL2 itself. And we are in game number 9, the deciding game for $1,000 on the line here for first place. 500 for second. It is a pretty big difference, guys. And I don't think anybody expected this to happen. It is going to be the closest of series. Oh my god, dOTY. You know what? I think no matter who wins this last game, we can all be proud of dOTY's performance. And of course, Sziky being a boss as usual. Wow, 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 wow. I am so pumped. I am so pumped. I am so pumped. Alright, and just to get everyone even more hyped up, we're going into the hype video once again before we go into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 9. Here we go. And here we go. Game number 9. OMG. We are on Gladiator. It looks like it's cross spawns. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Hacklebeast, if you would do the honors. Oh, re. Don't re.
In the bottom.
Sorry.
In the bottom right, we have Sziky as the orange Zerg. Top left, we have dOTY, the purple Protoss. dOTY just wants to say the match was fun and good luck. What a mannered dude. To be honest, it was a little bit painful sitting in that lobby, just waiting for the hype video to end. We gotta know, man. How is this actually gonna turn out?
How does it end? How does it end? Does Harry Potter die? Does Flash win? Will there be a power outage? I hope to God there's no power outage. It's like, watch, I just like get a blackout in my entire neighborhood. I just can't finish the cast. You guys never get to see Game 9. This is like the ultimate cliffhanger. Oh man, that'd be terrible. All the angry nerds crying. What is this probe doing? What? Is he just like lost?
I don't know.
I think he misclicked on the minimap. He's trying to scout the top right, but he messed up.
He
doesn't know any players!
No!
4-player map?
He knew Neo Forte enough to think that he could cannon rush on it, and he doesn't know Gladiator.
Hey guys, I'm playing this one game, right? And if I win, I get $1,000, but I don't really feel like looking at the map beforehand. It's not important.
This isn't Jim Raynor's memory.
God.
This is Gladiator. Oh.
It is a 9 pool, by the way.
Oh my God, dOTY. I don't think dOTY expected it to go to 9
Uh-oh.
games.
Uh-oh, Ziky's making 6 lings. Ziky's making 6 lings. And this wall is a little bit dubious. This wall is slightly dubious. He's gonna see it. He's trying to block the drones that are gonna make the hatchery, but there is gonna be no hatchery. Oh no, there's gonna be a hatchery. Alright, he's gonna see the lings. He's gonna see lings. Come on. Come on, lings. Lings. Alright, he's blocking it. He's blocking it. He needs to make a cannon, though. He has made a cannon. Alright, good. And it is cross map, and he does see the Zerglings. So he's gonna be fine. He's good to go. dOTY is good to go. We're fine. Alright, cool. Whew. Alright.
I'm breathing deep.
How many gallons of tears will you cry if this just ends with like a ling run by?
I weigh myself now.
You'll just
So
like
that calculate by water loss. It's just like, oh, I lost 20 pounds.
dude, you're gonna cry so much that you like get dehydrated and just die. Oh man, death by dehydration from tears. Oh god, oh block it! No, no, don't let it go. Oh. Angle Beast can't take it. He can't take it anymore.
Oh, man.
Just kill me now.
Oh man.
He just walled himself in completely though, so he's gonna have to kill one of these buildings to get Dragoons out. Probably kill the gateway, but alright, looks like it's not gonna be any kind of silly ling run by here. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. Lair started, Probe's gonna check it out. Oh man, this better be an epic long like hour-and-a-half game or something. This has to be at least as good as like Pike versus Mazur from Gambit Cup Finals. That game 7 that they had. This has got to be on that level. Alright.
Dude, okay, so actually talking about the game, dOTY, Nexus goes down, Cybercore should be next, and Sziky still not deviating from 3 hatched lair. And just all in committing to these Mutalisks, and this isn't exactly a terribly good map for Mutalisks. That natural is a very difficult natural to attack. The main isn't exactly good either.
Indeed.
There's some room in the back though that helps, but it's still essentially pressed up against the corner.
Yep, as you said.
And it looks like
sorry, go ahead.
And it looks like dOTY's going to play standard because he's going Stargate first.
Yeah, that's a good point to make about the minerals. You know, the ones at the natural, even though there is kind of a bit of a wall there to block line of sight, they are pressed against the back of the map, and even the ones in the main, there's a bit of space, but again, it's basically against the edge of the map here, so it will be a little bit difficult for Sziky. It's funny because it almost looks like the old versions, or not old, but like the initial versions of the Pro League maps, like Sniper Ridge and Jade, where that was the same case on those maps, and then they actually changed it in Pro League to make it easier to muta harass. But on Gladiator, they have done no such thing. Gladiator, by the way, is still in use in the current OSL, so definitely a relevant map. And
Sziky, excuse me, dOTY's being a little bit sneaky here. He's hiding his Citadel in his natural instead of building where it normally is. And the Overlord, oh, I will see it anyway, so he's not actually going to get anything out of it. But that could have been actually a really cool move, because if that Overlord hadn't been in such a good position to go quickly to the natural, it would have looked exactly like the Game 2, Game 3 build that beat Sziky. And Sziky would have had to try to react to Corsair Reaver instead of what dOTY's probably going to go for. Oh, but Sziky's going to lose the Overlord? Sziky's going to lose the Overlord.
It's because he's looking at the bottom left. Look, the Zealots here, he's trying to micro Zerglings again, so he doesn't pay attention. He loses the Overlord at the front. Oh my goodness, uncharacteristic mistake from Sziky. Definitely getting a little bit flustered here. Probably wasn't expecting this to go to a Game 7. Oh man, talk about a horrible mistake to be making in such an important game. Possibly one of the most important games he's ever played. With $1,000 on the line and just like losing an Overlord to cannons? Wow. Meanwhile, first 2 Corsairs are coming out.
I know you meant he didn't expect it to get to a Game 9, but let's be honest, he really didn't expect it to get to a Game 7 either.
Oh man. Whoopsie daisies.
Oh man, it's Zealot does so. Zealot getting through both Sim Cities before they're really able to get up. Just getting a scout off though, and he's going to see Mutalisks. Doesn't actually see any Mutalisks, but he sees all the makings for them. A few more speedlings than normal from Sziky if he's not going to go for a Ling Bust. Usually makes 2, maybe 4 less than what he has now. So a little bit more aggressive here. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything though.
Yeah, no Lings for you. Another gateway here at the natural. dOTY seems to enjoy building all his buildings here. I'm not sure about that cannon placement. He might have to kill a Citadel now to get out, but I guess it's not a big deal if he gets leg speed already. Speaking of which though, he doesn't have leg speed yet, does he?
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. So actually it's not going to be nice to have to kill that. But anyway, it looks like the Corsairs are actually doing some nice damage here at the bottom left. Looks like there are 3 kills between them, 1 apiece. And that is actually supply block Sziky now, 47 of 45 supply. And you know, this is actually not a bad map for that kind of Reaver/DT drop shenanigans, of course, because your main base is kind of sunk on the low ground and there's like this cliff around it. It's actually very similar to Neo Aztec, so dOTY can definitely try something similar. Although in cross map position, it's a little bit harder to do those kinds of drops. dOTY seems to love building these pylons in his mineral lines, by the way. That is natural. I'm not sure why he does that. He built like 2 in his natural mineral lines on Neo Aztec. Meanwhile, more Corsairs going out here. They do have the +1 upgrade. Looks like 5 Corsairs in total. There's a bunch of Overlords here. There's only 1 Spore Colony to defend them. I think, yeah. Oh, no, it looks like dOTY just gets 1 and runs away. Not going to commit. Oh, he's going to get another one here, though. Oh, but the Scourge coming in! Oh, nice little move by Sziky, and it looks like he's going to defend that Overlord as well as get 1 free Corsair. I think the rest of them will maybe escape. Might get 1 more. Meanwhile, 1 DT running around on the map, but not going to get too far here. There are Spore Colonies at all the bases. Sziky very aware of the danger of these Corsairs, the threat. But just forcing the spores is very nice. And it's a Robo Hackle Beast. It is the same build.
Wow. And you know what? I think in the 3 times he's done this, he's gone for them and he's gone for the 3 buildings, the Archives, the Stargate, and the Robo in different orders. In the first game, he went Stargate, Robo, Archives. Second game, Robo, Stargate, Archives. And then this game, Stargate, Archives, Robo.
Gotta mix it up, man. You gotta keep Sziky on his toes. Is this Zealot at the natural traps, by the way? Do you see this guy stuck under the gateway?
Yes.
Oh, poor Zealot. That's alright. dOTY will make a shuttle soon. You can save him. But that Zealot is very, very poor. I feel so bad for him. But looks like a huge attack going in here. I don't really like this move. I don't think he can break this. He's just suiciding Zealots here. I do not like this move. It's not good.
No.
It's not good. dOTY, don't suicide, man. Don't suicide. That's how you almost lost the game on Ground Zero, dude. Do not suicide. Also, rescue this Zealot. Rescue it. Look, all the other Zealots now, they'll spawn on the outside because this guy's like blocking for them. This poor guy sacrificed himself for his buddies. Meanwhile, it looks like some Lings trying to catch these Zealots in the middle of the map, but they forgot that Zealots are pretty good against Zerglings in the early game. In the meantime, Sziky already getting his 4th base up at the bottom left main. Got a couple of nicely positioned Scourge here at the bottom of dOTY's main. Looks like Dragoon range on the way. dOTY continuing to pump out units, not really showing any signs of a 3rd base just yet. Of course, this mineral only base on the inside is very close to your natural, so you can take that fairly easily, but you know, it's not a very good expansion. It's only got 6 patches, which are not even full value patches, and no gas. So you much prefer to take either like this base at the 9 o'clock or the one at the 12 o'clock, the side expansions. Meanwhile, Sziky's actually going to kill this gateway, and I don't think dOTY's actually going to mind that too much. That's going to let his units get out a little bit easier here. And yeah, you see, as soon as the gateway goes down, everything just moves out. The floodgates are open. Nice storms going down. The Lings, though, doing a good job buffering. Did we get another storm? Looks like maybe no energy. No, it looks like there was a little bit more energy, but actually, Lurker's on the way now. dOTY's got to be careful not to let himself get Lurker contained. Sziky is looking in pretty good shape this game. dOTY, I mean, he suicided a bunch of early Zealots and basically just forfeited map control. I think that was a pretty big mistake there. He should have just poked in there, saw that there was too much defense, and just kept them alive, and you know, just basically keeping Sziky away from his main, away from his natural, so he cannot get this kind of contain off. Fortunately, lurker contains aren't quite as brutal on this map because it's basically if you go out too far, you actually end up on low ground, and then dOTY will be attacking downhill. And it looks like he's going to kill that. I think he has to kill the Citadel as well, though. I'm fairly certain he has to kill the Citadel.
Yeah, I don't think that cannon is actually blocking anything. And it's a little bit dangerous because, well, no, it would be dangerous, but Sziky isn't going for a really aggressive follow-up. He did expand instead. Queensnet's just finished, so he's going to have Hive. And I'm a little bit surprised by the Robo Facility placement, because he didn't even get the support bay for it.
Looks like
but he did load up, loading up the shuttle with 3 Zealots now. But it's going to be seen. There are just too many little orange dots around the map. Scourge now realize.
And it looks like we do have a breakout attempt at the front, though. A double storm on the same place, though. A bit of a waste. Oh, look, another storm going in. But, man, with such a low number of hives, it's so easy to storm dodge. And a nice little snipe on the observer right there. Sziky looking in pretty dominant form once again. And by once again, I mean, considering he's lost 4 games this series, this is probably like more games than Ziky's lost in a row in his life. Or not in a row, but like in one series. I guess except barring like his show matches against Koreans. But anyway, oh, dOTY's moving out once again here. Is it going to be enough? He doesn't really have that many units. He's trying to break out before the contain is too hard. Oh my god, no, he's losing all the High Templars, dOTY. And look at this, he had half his units trapped at home because of the friggin' Citadel. Oh my god, dOTY just killed like all of the buildings he had at his wall, but he does have a decent number of Dragoons now. He doesn't have a single high Sonic Storm though. He's no storms left. And look at that minimap, by the way. That is a sick minimap. He just got stuff everywhere. Oh my god, dOTY, that's not how you break out of contain. Oh no, dOTY. dOTY, no! dOTY, no! dOTY! Alright, he's breaking out. He's breaking out, but I think it's too late though. He's at 108 supply and Ziky's at 111 supply. Like, even if he breaks, just kill the lurkers. What are you doing? Oh no, the lings are coming in. What? What is being attacked right now? Oh my god, dOTY's attacking a gateway in his main because he's got more units stuck. dOTY's own buildings are actually his worst enemy in this game. Oh my god, he's like queuing up a billion units. He's got way too much money. He's just killed like 6 of his own buildings this game.
dOTY's gonna lose because of his wall, but in a way we completely did not expect.
I know, it's like the complete reverse situation. Everyone's like, oh, dOTY's not gonna make a tight wall. He made his walls too tight, guys. Guys, it's all your fault. You guys kept telling dOTY to make tight walls, so he made them so tight that his units couldn't get out, and now he's like so boned. Oh, the irony. Oh no! Oh no, dOTY's army is completely out of position. Look at all the units swarming in. Hydras to the left, Zerglings to the right, Lurkers underneath. I think this army is going to get crushed. dOTY's in serious trouble. Oh my god, he's just running from the Zerg swarm. The overwhelming force of units from Sziky is busting through here. dOTY's in big trouble. He's got a 3rd base up, but it's completely undefended now. Oh my god, he's reduced to only Zealots. He's still killing more buildings. dOTY is reduced to killing his entire main base. dOTY's gonna try and self-eliminate him. Self? GG, congratulations, you deserve it. I could not make buildings properly. And Sziky wins the ISL3, ladies and gentlemen, in a ridiculous series, 5-4. dOTY showing us some amazing games, though, going in as a complete underdog. People were thinking he wouldn't even win a game, but he took it down to the wire. And wow, what a way to end the ISL3. But don't go anywhere, guys, because we must announce the show match player. That's right. I get to announce it. But first, a shout out to our sponsors. Hacklebeast, if you will.
Indeed. Sponsors are Altitude and their game. Go check that out if you haven't. It is free to play, and it would really help us out and them out if you at least gave it a try. Very easy to sign up for. Other sponsors include Sales Viewers, Twitch TV, Prowler, Nabopolis, Fairyland, Trap, Noise, Ruskig, and Coram Jahalen. So, Sayle, inform us all, who is in fact the show match player?
Alright, I actually have a whole thing here. I have his background. He even has a nickname. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. The show match player is going to be none other than the Gosu amateur player minus Eagle. That's right, minus Eagle versus Sziky coming up tomorrow, guys. Get pumped for that. It is gonna be so sick. So sick. Alright, and okay, so if anyone doesn't know who Minus Eagle is, I have some background information from the game. First of all, he's like an amazing Protoss who streams on Afrika. But more importantly, his AKAs are Rual.Woong. He's an ex-com pro gamer, and a 1900 plus rated Protoss on Fish. Apparently his real name is Jin Woong, although I probably pronounced that completely wrong. And apparently, and it says, guys, I'm not making this up. It says he wants everyone to know that he's a Korean sexy boy. I quote, Korean sexy boy. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Is that all you had for his bio?
Indeed.
Alright. A couple of things that he's done is recently in the Hoduk Star League, the one between all of the Afrika players, some of the more famous ones, he did rather well, advancing in a couple rounds and beating a lot of good people, a lot of pro gamers, or former pro gamers along the way. And if you remember back to the MySL, which I completely forgot about, to be honest, I had to be reminded that that was a thing. Back when they had when they had the amateur qualifiers to be seeded into the Star League, he won that. He is that guy. So he was one of the he was one of the players who got seeded into the OSL, or was it MSL? I can't actually even remember
OSL,
whether
dude.
MySL.
OSL,
It was OSL.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was actually seeded. He was actually seeded into OSL qualifiers. And he will be going up against Sziky for fame and glory and money.
Indeed. And for anyone who doesn't know, there will be a thread on Team Liquid with all the details, but basically it's going to be casted tomorrow at 19 CET by Hacklebeast and Elegant. So do tune in and check that out. It's going to be awesome. And otherwise, a huge thanks once again to Altitude and all the other sponsors. It has been an amazing ride. And I hope to see